Could have used a little song I wrote, note for note. Don't worry.
Something, note for note.
This is a little song I wrote. Something, note for note. Don't worry, be happy. Bobby McFerrin.
How old is
he's
Bobby?
fine. He's fine.
He's dead, isn't he?
No, he's just
No.
fine.
Are you sure?
How old is Bobby?
I don't know.
He's,
Let's see.
70-something, I want to say.
You sure he's not dead?
He's not dead.
You sure?
Oh, no, he's living.
And it's Mike Percy's birthday today, too. Dead or alive, spin me right round like a record right round.
Baby.
Baby like a record right round.
That might happen for the potty break
No,
song,
please,
maybe.
no. Please, no, God, no. And you didn't really have to do this.
It's kind of nice.
That's
It's
why it was
nice.
such a big hit.
How old is Bobby?
Do
we know?
I'll look and see. Let's see what he does actually say here, because I don't know. He was born in 1950. He's 68 or 9.
You know, she's 69. You know what movie this is from?
What? Okay, wait.
Might want to sing it,
Might want to sing it.
Don't worry.
All right, that's enough.
You could just have it underneath
that's-
here for a minute. It was in Cocktail.
Okay, fine.
The
Really?
It was?
Yeah.
I never saw Cocktail, so
Yeah.
I don't know.
You never saw Cocktail. We
Again, don't
we
be
played,
shocked when I say things
Why?
like this.
But we
I
played-
didn't either.
But we played drops from it on this show.
Yeah, the stuff that I got.
Beer is for breakfast. Drink or be gone.
People who saw Cocktail and told me that line's in there and you should get it. And then I go to YouTube and I get just the scene.
Gina, why would anybody see Cocktail? It was a
I've seen
horrible movie.
I've seen it more than once.
Wow.
But I've
Okay,
had
so you saw it from me.
I've had numerous people tell me it's a horrible movie. Don't bother.
Yeah. But that was before I hated Tom Cruise.
Gina,
Before you hated it.
how many
you know what,
how many
even
times
though-
have you seen it?
I don't know, 2 or 3 times.
That's hours of your life you will never get back. You've said so many times, I just wish I had done adventurous things in my life. You haven't done adventurous things because you've wasted those times watching Cocktail.
But so even though I don't care for Tom Cruise anymore,
Please.
I still like the movies. I like the Mission Impossible movies.
sure.
I like that movie that they should have never changed the name of.
Oh,
Live, Die, Repeat. or-
yeah, you're getting a sequel to that, by the way.
With him?
Maybe.
I saw.
But Bill Paxton is dead.
Well,
He can't live, die, and repeat.
we'll have to
he
do
just
something
lives and
about that.
dies.
yeah.
That was a great movie.
Yes,
So
it
even
was.
though I don't care for Tom Cruise as a person, I still enjoy
That's good.
some of the work that he does.
Even Cocktail. And you know, it's also Rick Rothwell's birthday. He was in the Mindbenders.
Oh.
And it's Mark Stein's birthday. Keyboards for Vanilla Fudge. And it's Bernie LaBarge's birthday. One of the fabulous LaBarge family members.
DeBarge or LaBarge?
LaBarge.
Okay.
Or is it DeBarge?
It's
I don't-
DeBarge.
Now I miswrote it, I guess.
Okay.
And it's Benji Madden's birthday.
That may come back.
I hope not.
Well, because anytime it's Benji Madden's birthday, it is also Joel Madden's birthday.
That's true.
It didn't mention that here.
didn't?
That's right, they're twins. I forgot that. No, it does not say that.
That's funny.
It is funny. And then, of course, it is. We just heard the vocal stylings of George Kooymans, because on this day he was born.
Golden earring.
George what?
Kooymans.
Hoymans?
He's Dutch.
Oh, okay. Lead singer of Golden Earring.
Yeah.
Who did that song, Twilight Zone.
Which I've always enjoyed.
Yeah.
It's still going, isn't it? This is a long song.
It's no Radar Love, Twilight Zone, but
It's no Don't Worry, Be Happy.
It's nice. I like that.
it is.
Is it?
How did they work that into Cocktail?
Yeah, how was it used in context of the movie?
Well, there are troubles in the movie. There's conflict.
You've seen
yeah.
it more than once, Gina. Can you be specific?
So they're on. It doesn't this sound like island music?
Little?
They're on a beach and it's.
Oh.
I see. So somebody gets sand in their
What was
shorts.
what was the conflict in Cocktail? What was the big conflict?
Somebody get a bad drink?
Well,
Was it a drink competition? or
Bad
what?
tips?
It was.
Yeah, what was the conflict?
Yeah, come on.
I mean, Tom Cruise had daddy issues,
Okay.
and so he sort of looks up to Brian Brown, who's the Australian guy.
Yeah.
That's his, and he's kind of mentoring him.
right.
Yeah, in good cocktail making.
And that's where they,
That's where they bond?
And bartenders it's entertainment.
Sure.
They do fancy. They throw
Yeah,
the bottles around,
yeah,
and they.
which no bartender really does.
Maybe they did in the 80s. Did they do it in the 80s?
Not much, no.
There are some bars where they still do that.
But it's you don't want to damage the merchandise.
There's a couple of bars in Vegas where they do that.
If I were tweeting, I would tweet out a little clip of the movie so
you're
you
not
could see.
tweeting.
But I'm not. I'm on. I gave up
everybody-
Twitter for Lent.
Even
so
those of us who haven't seen the movie have seen that scene.
have seen that.
Yeah. So, but where you still don't know, you haven't told us what the conflict is.
It's.
Does he get the girl?
He sleeps with the wrong person, and that makes the other guy mad. It's the same story you've.
Oh
I
yeah,
mean,
that's
it's not an original
that sounds like
story.
that's a ripoff. That's a ripoff of Star Wars. Period. That's all that is.
That's a rip of Star Wars.
One guy slept with the other guy, and same thing.
Does it have a happy ending?
Yeah, they blow up
course.
the Death Star in both of them.
No,
It's the
not
same.
And he
No,
gets
no.
the girl, and yeah.
Okay.
All right. Let's get going then, shall we?
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll officially start the show in a couple of minutes here. We need to do some messages here, and Gina will tell us about her bra. And then when we come back to officially begin the show, and after we officially begin the show, I have some very, very important news for Gina.
Important news.
Yeah, she's gonna be very excited by this news.
All right.
Some news especially for Gina. coming.
Okay.
Speaking of me,
Yes.
so I did that fashion show a couple weeks ago. Remember? Mm-hmm. And for the MS Society.
Oh, yeah.
And they had clothes from Athleta that we were modeling. And they sent when you do a fashion show, they send a bag with the clothes you're supposed to wear in the fashion show, and they included a bra in the clothes I was
They
supposed
did?
to wear
Okay.
on, and I said,
Nope.
nope.
You threw it at them, didn't you? Take this
I
away.
have my Third Love bra on that will look better than this bra you're giving me. It will support me. It is comfortable. It was selected especially for me. Third Love. Now, why am I feeling so strongly about this? Because I went to thirdlove.com/Gina. That's Gina. And if you go there, you'll get 15% off your first purchase automatically right off the top. You don't have to put in another promo code or anything. Then you'll take the Fit Finder quiz that will help you get the bra that fits you the best, just like I did. You're going to love it. Lightweight, super thin memory foam cups. They mold to your shape. Hands down, the most comfortable bra you'll ever own. Thirdlove.com.
The date for the Radio from Hell International Film Festival is March 27th.
All we need now is your film. Submit it online at x96.com.
This year, we have only one requirement.
Make your film 5 minutes.
time
I guess.
to officially begin the show?
Brought to you by Start Small, Save Big. Open a 60-month certificate of deposit at Cyprus Credit Union. Receive 3.65% APY. Rates this great, there's never been a better time to start saving. Stop by or visit cypruscu.com.
Have you changed all of the clocks in your house?
No, I got in my car this morning, and I hadn't changed that one. And that's a gut punch when you get up and get ready for work, and then you get in and go, it's not 4 o'clock in the morning.
Well, you didn't really.
No, but it just reminds you that it's...
So you set your clocks ahead 1 hour, right? And so the one in the bathroom I did set because I look at that a lot, but then the one in the dressing room I did not set, and
it threw you off
a little bit. So I leave the bathroom and go in the dressing room to dress, and I go, what? Oh, gee.
And you feel it immediately, don't you?
Kind of,
it really is 3 o'clock in the morning.
All right. Well, the moon is a waxing crescent moon, 21.3% of full, moving its way toward being a full moon on March 20th. It will be full exactly at 7:42 p.m. on the 20th. The moon will rise today at 10:33 a.m. Today being Monday, it's the 4th day of... No, it's not.
11th.
It's the 11th day of March in the year of our Lord 2019. And this is North America's only morning show that has a thread count of over 900.
We're very buttery smooth.
Very nice. Very nice. We are the Radio from Hell show, starring the Lords of Morning Radio, Kerry Jackson. I'm Bill Allred. That is Gina Barberi, the interim millennial producer of the Radio from Hell show is Katie for short. And I think we're going to have we got special help today?
Crystal, maybe?
Crystal Nichols. Argyle intern, yeah.
Oh, really?
Argyle intern is going to, former intern, now a very important helper here at Broadway Media. She is a beck and call person for the sales staff.
It pays to be an intern on the Radio from Hell show. You could go on to fabulous things.
Yeah, I don't think she gets paid that much, but she's going to come in here and help run the show today because Katie's here by herself. One of our interns went on spring break to southern Utah. So when
That's
you go
where you go on.
Well,
spring.
you go on spring break to southern Utah, you only get 1 day, and then they send you back. There's not because there isn't that
There's
much
only
to do.
one day of things to do.
Yeah, you go to.
Well, it's not warm enough to lay by the
No.
pool down there.
No, it's
They were
really
getting
not.
snow a week ago.
I think there's only one liquor store. I don't know why they go on spring break to southern Utah.
Yeah, I don't.
I don't understand that. If they're going to do that, just go all the way to Vegas. Mm-hmm. That's what you should do. But anyway, so Crystal will be here now. Gina,
Yes.
it's time to turn to very important news for you. I saw this morning, and I knew that you would be excited. This is something, and I think this is kind of probably an annual thing for you.
Okay.
It's lice season.
Yes.
They're creepy, they're crawly.
Yep.
Nobody likes to talk about
No.
them too much, but you do.
I
know
don't
you do.
like to.
Doctors say that cases of lice in Utah are on the rise.
On the rise.
It's time. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention say that there are between 6 and 12 million new cases of lice in the United States every year. Lice Clinics of America.
We've had them on our show
Yeah,
before.
they've started.
I've got a coffee mug from them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
People do look at you funny when you're holding that coffee mug.
they've started tracking the numbers in January 2018. They say in the past year, the Salt Lake area, we're up 20%, Gina. So I think we can do better. We could probably bump that up to 25
I feel
or
itchy all of a sudden. Don't you feel itchy when we talk about this?
no.
No, because I don't have kids.
We have never had lice in our house.
We have,
I know.
and I wanted to move.
The health department doesn't.
Like I don't even want to. Yeah.
The health department doesn't track cases of lice because they say it's not a public health hazard.
Yes, it is.
Dr. Krista Lauer with Lice Clinics of America says lice is extremely common, particularly in the Barberi Jones household.
Well.
It's one of those things that people don't talk about because there's a lot of stigma. They're embarrassed. There's also a lot of myths about how people get lice.
Yeah.
But doctors say they don't jump
Nope.
and they don't fly.
You have to.
They creep. That's what doctors. That's the medical term. They creep.
You have to have head-to-head contact, or share a hat,
Exactly.
or
That's-
share a pillowcase.
That's exactly
or
what it
share
says
a
here.
Blanket, or
Well, and how do kids at school pass it to each other?
Head to
because they
head.
wrestle around.
Head-to-head
and they-
contact.
Kids play, and
I never would have gotten lice as a kid then.
you didn't touch anybody.
Oh,
Nobody wanted to touch Gary when he
God,
was
no.
a kid. Now they recommend that parents. So Gina, when you get home, it's time to start doing head check
Okay.
once a week because you're not
Yeah.
looking for adult lice.
No,
you're
you look
looking
for
for the nits.
Yep, the little egg. The eggs.
Yeah, they're called nits. They lay eggs and they cement them to a hair shaft.
Yeah.
you know that Lice Clinics of America. They're good. They're good at that. But nothing can substitute an actual chimp. If you're
can
gonna
hire a
Oh,
monkey,
I should get one.
Yeah.
hire a monkey,
And you just sit them down in front of the TV and
yeah, yeah,
Let them go.
yeah. So
have
once
have the chimp on the couch and the kid on the floor,
yeah,
and
put on the
all right.
baby sharks.
Thank you, Mr. Teeny.
Yeah. So if your kid is itching
Yeah.
scratching his head a lot, that's a
You
sign
gotta
of lice.
check. I know.
So it's not don't worry. It's not a stigma. Everybody except my household, we've never had lice. My dirty household. We've never ever had lice.
Yeah.
So
Well, great. Something else for me to.
I knew
worry
you'd
about.
be I knew you'd be one
You
of
said I'd like this story.
well, it's important for you because your family has repeatedly.
No, only one. Not repeatedly. It
seems-
happened once.
It seems to me we've had repeated lice
No.
stories from your house.
Happened once.
Only one time?
Yes.
Okay, well, just now there's a.
And I had the lice lady come to the house. Remember
Right,
the lice
yeah.
lady?
Uh-huh.
She has business cards and everything that
Yeah,
say the
mhm.
lice lady.
Now remember, you don't let your children be bullied if they have lice.
Okay.
So the way to do that is just tell them to dummy up. Don't tell anybody. They say tell your kid. It says here right in the story. Tell the
Dummy
kids
up.
to dummy up. Don't tell anybody.
Girls looking at cell phones together is a big way to get head lice.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, yeah, because
Because you put your heads together to
Yeah.
look at the pictures.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Lice have developed a resistance to traditional methods of treatment. But there's a new option developed by a professor at the University of Utah. Lice Clinics of America use a precision-controlled heated air.
Oh, yeah, I've heard about this.
Yeah, they dehydrate the lice. They dry them out.
Yeah,
They-
remember we had them on? They have a special tool that.
Yeah. It's like a cone, heated cone.
Yeah.
So the lice are going, water. I need water. I'm dying of thirst here.
There's food around the corner.
Yeah. So
All right.
I was waiting for that this whole time.
Well, he's not a lice. He's a flea.
he's a flea.
Oh.
That's different.
He's not a louse.
That's very different.
It's one of a lice is a louse, Gary. If you don't say he's not a lice,
Oh,
he's
okay.
he's not a louse.
All right.
yeah, he is. He's a louse.
He's a dirty
what
louse.
a
Yeah,
louse.
dirty louse. All right, we got very important sports coming up with Ed Brass. Stand by for that. Also, big boy news and opinioendo. Round one of your boners, all coming up. All of that. It's just moments away. Daylight savings makes it hard to get out of bed.
Yes.
And y'all are struggling with that right now. It's just like, oh, you're rolling over. That's me every day because of my Brooklinen sheets.
You struggle every day to get out of bed.
Now I know that that doesn't seem like a very good sales pitch, but it is. You're going to enjoy being in bed. You're going to enjoy sleeping so much that you'll just want to keep doing it. You spend like a third of your life in the sheets. So it's time for your bedding upgrade. 5-star hotel quality type sheets at not even near the price through brooklinen.com. They have won the winner of Best Online Bedding category by Good Housekeeping. And my little dog Ripley raves, I tell you, about the Brooklinen sheets. My Brooklinen sheets, the best, most comfortable sheets I've ever slept on. Now it's time for your upgrade. Brooklinen.com giving you an exclusive offer just for our listeners. You'll get 10% off of your first order and free shipping when you use the promo code Jackson, Jackson, my last name, at brooklinen.com. They are so confident in their product that all of their sheets and comforters and towels come with a lifetime warranty. The only way to get this deal, 10% off of your first order and free shipping, is to use the promo code Jackson at brooklinen.com. That's BROOKLINEN.com, and the promo code Jackson. These really are the best sheets ever.
When Carrie Bill.
I was going to mention this article.
Oh, okay. This is the Tribune.
Yeah, this guy calls me, and that's why. I don't know what Richie expected. He calls me. He asks for some quotes. So the first thing you want to do, obviously, is see if he got the quotes right.
Yeah.
You always, isn't that what you always do? If you're being quoted
I don't
in
want
the
to be
paper?
misquoted.
No.
I might come off looking stupid.
I'm just concerned my name's spelled right.
It is. And I was quoted correctly. I don't know about you,
I
because you
don't
haven't
know.
looked yet.
I was rambling. I was doing my dishes when he called, so I had him on my jawbone, you know.
I was...
You in the
running around
bathroom?
kitchen
No, I
doing
was
dishes.
I was at Liberty Park, putting my kids on the Ferris wheel and the little all the little death trap rides
Yeah.
that are over there at Liberty Park. The little injury-inducing ride.
All
I
red.
cut myself on this.
Really?
Allred, in referencing his 5,000th episode on the Radio from Hell program, was quoted as saying, "You little jerk, get on that ride!"
Oh, you're bringing the little jerks tonight, right?
But the quote, this dawned on me. This was, I think, one of the more brilliant observations I've ever had. The reporter from the Salt Lake Tribune asked me, so why do you think your show has been on so long? Why has it lasted 5,000 episodes when other morning shows and radio shows have come and gone? Some appear and go quickly, some are there for a while, but they disappear. Why have you guys lasted 5,000 episodes? And I said, well, it seems pretty simple to me. It's because nobody ever fired us. Really? I mean, isn't that he kind of paused and he said, well, I guess that is true, isn't it?
Well, but we were
Doesn't
fired.
mean it's good. We just weren't fired.
We were fired once.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess we were fired once.
Yeah.
No, you weren't fired. You could have stayed. You two could have kept doing the show.
No, he was told he would be fired if he didn't sign the contract.
That's what I mean. If you had signed the contract,
I was fired. I was fired because I wanted to be fired. I don't
different.
count. I don't count that as really being fired. I was fired because I really, really wanted to be fired in the long run. I wasn't going to
you
sign.
could have kept your job if you wanted.
Yeah.
You signed the contract. You keep your job.
I wasn't going to sign a contract with those people, and I said to myself, if they fire me, I'll get unemployment. So yeah, that's what I want. I wanted to be fired.
So you were fired.
Yeah, but nobody's ever really fired.
Like I said,
fired
you
us.
suck. I don't want you to work here anymore. Get out.
Technically, I've been fired. You were never fired.
I've been fired many, many times. What do you mean from that
Not
job?
from this show.
Yeah,
But not
from
from
this
this
show.
show.
From this show. You've never been fired from this show.
Not from this show, no.
No,
Well, that's where it matters.
no. Never been fired from this show. And I was fired kind of by design, so I don't count that.
6:56. We got very important sports with Ed Brass coming up in a moment. But first, big boy news and opinioendo brought to you by
FanX, Utah's ultimate pop culture fan experience. It's returning April 19th and 20th to the Salt Palace. Celebrity guests include Val Kilmer, Paul Bettany, Alice Cooper, Linda Carter, and more, plus art and merchandise vendors galore. Get the full lineup and passes at fanxsaltlake.com.
What tragedy.
Uh,
Julia Ruth Stevens has died.
I don't know who that is.
That's, it's a good thing then, Gina, because I have the information right here in front of me.
Okay, good.
Would you like me to impart
Yes,
it, or would you like me to just move on?
No, I want to know who she is.
She was 102 years old, and she was Babe Ruth's oldest daughter.
Oh.
She said she even into her 90s, she called him Daddy. She loved to tell stories about Babe Ruth. She told stories of the 14-room apartment on Manhattan's Upper West Side, where he delighted in trimming the Christmas tree with icicles, and how when she began dating, he made sure that she returned home by midnight. In her later years, she traveled around the baseball map, most notably to the house that he had figuratively built, the house that Ruth built, Yankee Stadium, telling of his life beyond the ballpark. She just loved talking about him all of her life. Julia Ruth Stevens. She was his adopted daughter.
didn't I read this morning that George Foreman's daughter died?
Yeah. Yes, she was. Let's see, I have that here somewhere.
She also went into boxing.
She was in her 40s, only in her 40s. I don't have that right here in front of me. I'll get that for next time. Also dying, a legend of magic, Johnny Thompson. 84 years old. He died in Las Vegas, known as the Great Thompsoni, an inspiration to generations of magicians. He died Saturday afternoon at Spring Valley Hospital in Las Vegas. He was 84. He was a consultant on Penn and Teller's Fool Us on the CW. He collapsed on February 25th as the show was in rehearsals at the Rio. He was, in magician circles, very famous. He worked with a lot of magicians, consulting them on their acts. He was a model Las Vegas showman, usually wore a tuxedo, working with his wife and ditzy stage assistant Pam. The team developed a highly popular comedy illusion act with Thompson's artistry effectively offsetting Pam's gum-chewing, eye-rolling responses. And they worked in Las Vegas for many, many years in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. And also passing away, a friend of mine and a guy who was known here in Utah for many years, Gene Pack, known to generations of people here in Utah as a guy who did a classical music show on KUER. He was 40 years doing that show on KUER.
Yep.
Pack died on March 3rd at the age of 86. No cause of death was mentioned in his official obituary, but a friend said that Gene had suffered from dementia. Gene was one of those special people, said Mary Dixon, who just loved life. He loved other people, and he absolutely loved arts in every form. He was also an actor. Before he went into radio, he'd done a lot of acting, and I had the opportunity to act with Gene. We did a play together,
that's right.
Waiting for Godot.
I forgot about that.
Was that 20 years ago?
Quite a while ago, yeah.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. Gene Pack. And he was just he was the host of the classical music in KUER, and then KUER decided, well, we're not going to do classical music anymore. And they said, see you, Gene. Actually,
that wasn't that long ago, was it?
No, it's, let's see.
I think you're thinking of the jazz show.
Oh, yeah.
Because they
that's
got
right.
rid of
Yeah,
the
the
jazz
jazz
show.
show
I'm
was
sorry.
not so long ago.
Yeah.
But they didn't, actually, Gene stayed on with the station for a while doing, culture reports and things like that. But then he just said, nah, I'm going to retire. And he did, and just went home and didn't do much of anything after that. A man was shot and killed by a homeowner in Murray on Sunday evening. Investigators say the shooting happened around 7 in Murray. Investigators, there's not much information on it other than they're calling it a home invasion. They don't know why it happened. They don't know why the guy was, they say they don't believe that the two people knew each other, but there was a guy trying to break in and the homeowner shot the intruder. More information coming. Big crime spree in Wellington, Utah. Down there by Price, I think it is, isn't it? Down by Price, Ed? Wellington police are investigating. It's 30 cars were hit by eggs. There's a big egging down in Wellington.
An egging?
An egging.
There's a mass egging?
Yeah. Yeah.
All 30 cars.
All 30.
Every car.
That's every car in Wellington. Yeah. The Post, now, it said, now this might seem like a harmless prank, but some of the car owners say they might have to replace some paint on their cars.
It'll do some damage.
Sergeant Maines down there in Wellington said calls started coming in early Sunday morning, and he drove around town for 3 hours looking for cars that had been egged. When he found one, he notified its owner so they could clean it off as soon as possible, because the longer that egg stays on there, the harder it
Ruin
gets.
the paint.
It's a good thing the sun ain't out.
They don't know. They don't know who did it. There's a new temple, Latter-day Saints, Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints temple in Rome. They dedicated it on Sunday. The church said it took years and extraordinary efforts to build the temple in the capital of Catholicism. The Rome temple is the 162nd LDS temple in the world, with 40 more under construction. Right 40.
Wow.
We build temples so our faithful members can visit often and receive the most sacred ordinances of our faith, said Church President Russell M. Nelson.
Catholics!
Also, the leader of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, Russell M. Nelson, met with...
You got the invisible T there that needs to be...
Met with the Pope. That's the first time
Really?
The leader of the church, the Mormon church, has met with a Pope. No survivors aboard an Ethiopian Airlines Boeing 737, which crashed near Addis Ababa. 157 people aboard. The plane en route to Nairobi, Kenya, lost contact with the tower just a few minutes after taking off from Bole International Airport. The plane, they were having trouble from the minute they took off, apparently.
Never got over 1,000 feet, I think.
It's unclear why, what happened. There were UN employees on the plane. There were several Americans on the plane. Of course, they're investigating. They don't know. They have no idea really what happened. The pilot was a senior Ethiopian Airlines pilot. He had flown more than 8,000 hours. He had an excellent flying record. They're just still investigating, see what has gone wrong there. Beto O'Rourke. They're saying it looks like he may jump into the race and run for president.
Should be Joe Biden's vice president, Beto. Come on. Sharon and I predicted that months ago.
I don't think Joe Biden should do anything but retire. Go back to Delaware, Joe. We don't need another.
I have no opinion.
Carrie's voting for everybody.
I don't care whoever the Democratic
is.
nominee is. I will vote for them.
Jeez. Well, it's anyway. We'll see. Donald Trump says, "I did not call Tim Cook Tim Apple."
Yes, you did. There's
No.
video.
Why would he even lie about
Yeah,
this?
there's
He
video.
insists that he did not mistakenly refer to Apple CEO Tim Cook as Tim Apple, even though there is a video of it, and it's clear. The White House's own transcript noted that the president said Tim Apple during a meeting with business leaders last week. Well, thank you very much, Johnny, the transcript says. Johnny, of course, that's another. Now we're going to be opening up the labor forces because we have to. We have so many companies coming. People like Tim, you're expanding all over, doing things that I really wanted you to right from the beginning. I used to say, Tim, you got to start doing it over here, and you really have. I mean, you really put a big investment in our country. We appreciate it very much, Tim Apple.
It's right there. There's no other way to.
Well, on Friday, Trump told a group of GOP donors at his golf resort that he said Tim Cook Apple,
No,
but that the cook was really fast and that fake news reported it as Tim Apple.
no, we
No.
heard
But,
it.
but it is, on the tape. It's just Tim Apple.
I'm going to find it, and I'm going to play it
Well,
for you.
I know. You don't have to.
No,
It's
I
just-
would like to hear it again.
All right.
Because maybe
But
I
it's-
missed something.
No, you didn't. I don't understand why, but he is insisting on lying about that as well. And a high school senior chose to sit out the Colorado. Oh, this is a sports story. I hope you weren't going to do this, Ed.
Nope.
A high school senior chose to sit out the Colorado State Wrestling Championships in order to avoid sparring with two opponents who ended up becoming the first female wrestlers to ever place in the tournament. The Denver Post reporting of the incident was really something, placing Colorado teen Brendan Johnston at the center of the story as the one making history. And in the article, Johnson said he didn't want to compete against Jaslyn Gallegos and Angel Rios because of the physical contact wrestling entails. I'm not comfortable with a couple of things with wrestling a girl, Johnston told the Denver Post. The physical contact, there's a lot of it in wrestling.
It's true.
and what if I
There's-
lose?
Exactly.
And I guess the
There
physical
it is.
aggression, too. I don't want to treat a young lady like that on the mat or off the mat,
She's,
and not
she's
to
coming
disrespect
to the match willingly.
the heart of the effort of that she's put in. That's not what I want to do either. But in an interview with NPR, published on March 10th, Gallego said she just wants to wrestle, a sport she's been training for since she was 5 years old. I just want to be a wrestler, not necessarily defined as a girl wrestler. So that kind of hurt me a little bit, she told NPR Scott Simon. I just want to be this wrestler, and my gender is holding me back. Gallegos took fifth in the tournament. Rios came in fourth, making the first time female wrestlers have placed at the state level. Gallegos plans to continue wrestling in college. Her message to boys hesitant to touch girls in a sport that they've both trained for and consented to participate in was, just wrestle me.
Yeah, she's there willingly. She wants to.
Exactly. All right.
In our country. We appreciate it very much, Tim Apple.
There you go.
There's not even a tiny
There's not-
hesitation
Tim Apple.
there.
Not even a pause.
No.
It's like one word almost.
No, listen. Oh, wait.
He
Play it
dropped his
again.
voice really low.
Listen. Play it again.
All right. Hang on.
Wait.
Put a big investment in our country. We appreciate it very much, Tim Apple.
Oh, that time I heard it.
I'm trying to help him, are you? All right. Weather, and then we'll get to sports.
Yeah, so today
Weather
it'll
and
be
traffic.
a little breezy and quite warm, 47. Chance of some snow overnight. Not a lot, but still a chance of it. Traffic is looking very nice so far. Stalled vehicle northbound I-15 in Lehigh at milepost 283. That's affecting the left lane. And heard from a couple friends of the program about that. They texted at 33986. Ed Brass will usually tweet me some traffic if he sees any, but he's here in studio, so I don't have any other traffic to tell you about.
You're going to get it live.
Live. We'll do it live. All right, here we go. It's very important sports brought to you by.
At Big O Tires, save $120 on select sets of tires with paid installation. Only at Big O Tires, the team you trust. See store for details. Offer valid March 11th through April 1st, 2019.
Here we go.
And now, direct from the halls of justice to this dump,
This is beautiful.
Edward K. Brass with very important sports.
Yeah, here's your very important sports traffic report as promised. As you go eastbound on Interstate 80, where it merges with I-15, you come around the bend there. There's a broken down flatbed trailer sticking into the furthest left lane.
Oh, that's helpful.
And so you don't come on it until you're about 75 miles an hour. You come around the bend, and there it is. It's
Thank you.
pretty dangerous. So this is the buy one, get one free edition of Very Important Sports. For Pittsburgh listener Mauricio Paez and San Antonio listener Raul Montemayor, who actually lives in the city of McAllen, Texas, which is 2 hours south of San Antonio on the Rio Grande, and which also was where McAllen, Texas is where Sicario, Day of the Soldado, was set, which was actually filmed in Albuquerque. There is no Formula One news. On March 17th, the Grand Prix season begins in Australia, in Melbourne, the future home of Immortan Joe. Also looking into the future, Major League Baseball and the 2019 World Series, which will be played about Veterans Day. The Cleveland Native Americans will defeat the Chicago Cubs to win their first title since 1948.
Really?
Yeah.
Here come the predictions.
I love 'em.
Write
There you
them
go.
down.
Coincidentally, that's the same year as the Berlin airlift and the same year that you mentioned Babe Ruth's daughter dying. That's the year that Babe Ruth died, 1948. So when she's talking about Dad,
Wow.
it's been a while since Daddy was around.
Yeah.
Okay.
In NFL news, happy endings 2, New England Patriots 0. The Salt Lake Stallions lose to the San Diego Fleet 27-25. They're 1-4. In really very important sports news that I know you missed last week, Geir Helgemo, the world's #1 ranked bridge player, which is a card game, was suspended for using performance-enhancing synthetic testosterone. It's a card game.
How would that help you in a card game?
I have no idea. I guess you recover faster from dealing the cards. In other news, very important sports was suspended from using synthetic testosterone to enhance his ability to predict the future. In college basketball, #3 seeded BYU in their conference tournament was bounced out of the West Coast Conference tournament by #7 San Diego, 80-57. It doesn't matter because the tournament is going to be won by Gonzaga.
Yay.
Yeah, the Zags are going to go to the Final Four this year. Utah 17-13 overall, 11-7 in the Pac-12, is the #3 seed in the Pac-12 tournament, which tells you how bad basketball is in the Pac-12. They'll play the winner of Oregon-Washington State on Thursday. Weber State lost to Eastern Washington, and yet they're the #4 seed in the Big Sky tournament. They have a similar record to Utah. The one good basketball team in Utah this year is Utah State. They finished first in the Mountain West Conference. They're 25-6. They're very likely to go to the NCAA tournament, probably the only team from Utah that will, with the possible exception of Utah Valley University, who finished second in their conference. They're 23-8. The Utah ski team won the 2019 national title. They've won 2 national titles in 3 years.
Cool.
In the NBA, Friday, the Grizzlies beat the Jazz 114-104. Tonight, the Jazz play the Oklahoma City Thunder. The Jazz are in 6th place in the West ahead of #7 Clippers and #8 Spurs, not by much. You have to finish in the top 8 to be in the playoffs. In football, the one sport that matters, RSL 1, Vancouver 0. That's the 145th regular season shutout for Nick Raimondo. I think that there were no shots on goal or one shot on goal. It was Albert Rusnak who scored a penalty kick. They're tied for #5 in the West. They're so far undefeated this season. In the Premier League, Arsenal defeated Man United, sadly, 2-0.
What? No. This was a good night in my house when they
Oh,
won.
that's right. You're
Yes.
Arsenal
Oh, yes.
fans.
That's right.
2-0. They vaulted over United to 4th place, and that's a Champions League spot, which means that you play in Europe in a special league next year if you stay there at the end of the season. In 1st place is Manchester City, and 2nd is Liverpool by 1 point. Tottenham is 13 points behind. Arsenal is 14 behind, and 5th place is Man United. And for the missing all-knowing suit whose photograph is now appearing on blank milk cartons, Newcastle's in 13th place.
Is the suit missing?
I haven't seen him.
He's missing.
Hmm.
In the Bundesliga, Bayern Munich is in 1st place, Dortmund 2nd, Leipzig 3rd, Gladbach 4th, and 18th and last place is Nuremberg. They will be relegated. They're 9 points from safety. And that, my friends, is all the sports that there is at this time of year.
Not much.
Not much in the way of sports. That's all there is.
No, that was plenty. That was great.
You managed to find quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the bridge news, if you can keep that up.
More news on bridge.
Card playing steroid abusers. Yes.
According to Raul, who's in the chat room right now, he said that the bridge player was juicing for extracurricular reasons, not to enhance his bridge game.
But the fact that they test for that and
I know.
that's something
Well,
you
and
can
then you
be,
get suspended.
Yeah.
You know, you can't play cards anymore because you've got big guns.
Yeah. All right.
Bye.
Thank you, Mr. Brass.
Thank you, Ed. All right.
Yeah, things are looking good so far this morning. The only thing I've got is a stalled vehicle northbound I-15 milepost 283 in Lehigh. Looks like we've got smooth sailing. I think a lot of people are on spring break this week, so maybe we've got people out of town. The spring breaks are different for different schools. This week, next week, somewhere in there, people are off. So light traffic today.
All right.
Thank you very much. Okay, we got round one of your boners coming up. Stand by for that. And Bill Frost will be talking TV a little bit later as well. Okay, we got all that. RandLife.com.
Exclusively for X96 listeners,
What?
Rand Life is offering this free appraisal up to a $400 credit for anybody looking to do a refinance and pull money out of their home. Now, this is if you've lived in a home, if you've been paying on a mortgage for a year or more. And of course, the longer you've lived there, the more equity you have in the home. So you can use that money to put toward remodeling or to pay off high-interest debts or maybe even go on a vacation. So if you have more than your share of debt right now and you own a home with some equity in it, call Rand Life at 801-478-4500, and you can speak to a debt consolidation specialist. And they can do this over the phone for the most part. And they'll look you up, and they can check your home and all the specs and everything. And if it looks like a good fit, they'll send an appraiser over and pay for it up to $400, and we'll see how much equity you have, and then there you go. That's a refinance, and you're off to getting some money out of your home. So call Rand Life, 801-478-4500, or their website is also available to you. That's randlife.com.
Here at X96, we're not going to pretend that we're the smartest people in the room or the world. I mean, come on. We get paid to
I've neglected my fatherly duties all day today. I try to help with the homework. Now, my lovely wife here does it most of the time. I try to do 2 days a week.
Thursday's your day.
And Thursday's usually my
And here
day.
you are at work.
And here it is Thursday. Now, part of what we have to do for reading, for homework, is read for 20 minutes. So you guys all ready for 20 minutes of, of Charlie and the Chocolate
Hey,
Factory?
we could do 5 minutes. How about that?
He's on
Oh.
chapter 4.
He's on chapter 4.
But he was concerned that maybe we should start at chapter 1 so that everybody
Well,
would...
I'd be lost if you started
well,
in the middle.
oh, come on. We all know. Augustus Gloop, man. We all know.
we haven't gotten to Augustus Gloop yet.
Oh, where have you gotten
So what are we
to?
going to do? We're going to start with chapter 1? Well, we'll start with chapter 4.
Start with chapter 4. Don't worry about us. We'll catch up.
We'll catch up.
If
So-
we have any questions, we'll stop Dad and you
Okay.
know. All right.
Gina might need a little bit of explanation.
Yeah,
I
I'd
could probably do that, right?
I've never read it.
Gina's kind of slow.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So go ahead, little Bill. It's so hard to call him that because that's
Why?
really-
That's his name.
yeah. Go ahead. Start. You can start right now. Go ahead.
The next evening, Grandpa Joe went on with his story. You see, Charlie, he said, not so very long ago, there used to be thousands of people working in Mr. Willy Wonka's factory. And one day, all of a sudden, Mr. Wonka had to ask every single one of them to leave, to go home and to never come back.
Wow.
But why? Asked Charlie. Because of spies.
Because of outsourcing.
Spies.
Oh.
Spies.
Spies? Yes, all the other chocolate makers, you see, had been grown jealous of the wonderful candies that Mr. Wonka was making. They started sending spies in to steal the secret recipes. Jobs.
You editorialize?
Swearing!
Oh, God.
No swearing, Dad.
Sorry. I apologize.
People want to hear you read, I think.
What?
They want to hear you read.
Yeah, I was going to say, Bill, when Festus and I read, he reads a little, and then I read a little.
yeah.
And
All right. You want me to read a little bit of
Go
this?
ahead, read a little bit, sure.
Then something astonishing happened. One day, early in the morning, thin columns of white smoke were seen to be coming out of the tops of the tall chimneys of the factory. People in the town stopped and stared. "What's going on?" they cried. "Someone's lit the furnaces. Mr. Wonka must be opening up again." They ran to the gates, expecting to see them open wide. It was a request, sweetheart. I'm sorry.
People wanted to hear Bill read.
I don't know.
Oh, it's homework.
Oh, it's
all
homework.
right.
We
well,
better
okay.
get back
yeah,
to
we
that.
better
Okay,
get to it.
all right.
Get back to reading.
All right.
Get back to the sweatshop. Get
We'll
sewing those shoes.
We'll get back to reading.
What?
Carrie needs some new Nikes. You kids get to work.
I've been all over the state of
You don't
Delaware.
remember?
I don't recall passing through Rat Orgy, Delaware.
It's down in the corner. Yeah,
Yeah, I've been all over that state. I don't.
it's in the corner.
So I'm a dance mom.
Hi, Gina.
You're a
You
dance.
I'm a
mom?
dance mom.
There was a were you on that TV show?
I could be. No, I would be a terrible dance mom. Those moms on that TV show, they take this dance stuff so seriously.
Yeah.
Like, this is life and death seriousness.
Well, it
of-
is.
So my daughter Jonesy is doing competitive dance.
Is there money involved?
No, well, it goes. There's a lot of money going out.
You
There's no
spend a lot
money
of money on
coming
this.
back in.
Well, that doesn't make any sense. Why would you do it then?
Well, because it's just like competition soccer. A lot of money goes out.
But it's an investment in their future. Someday she will become a dancer that makes a lot of money. No. Well, I don't get it then.
This is her sport. This is her, and it's serious. It's competitive dance. You're on a team.
Cutthroat.
Yeah.
So it's not solo. It's,
No, I mean they have solo parts in it, but this is a team that she's on.
Is there like videotaping of the other team's moves?
Yes, and stealing moves. They do that on the TV
Are
show.
there spies?
Oh.
So there was a huge competition at Weber State on Saturday,
Yeah.
and we had to be there at 8:30 in the morning, and you have to be there in full makeup.
You do too?
No, I don't be anywhere in full.
Not even here.
Full makeup and hair. Now the hair it has to be this. It's called a dance bun.
Dance bun.
It's a
dance bun.
very
They're delicious.
specific hairstyle because the whole team has to look the same. Think of it like a Robert Palmer video.
Ugh. Is that the dance
Yeah,
bun?
that's just what I want to picture. A bunch of little girls.
Think of it like
No.
meaning everybody has to look the same. You have to
Oh.
have the same makeup, the
I
same
see.
slicked back hair.
All right.
Everybody's the same.
Dance bun.
So
So
you
how do
can
you-
kind of not even tell them apart, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Now, I am a terrible woman.
Yes.
And by that I mean I'm not good at doing woman things.
Girl stuff, yeah.
And I am not good with hair.
All right.
My daughter has enough hair for 3 people. She has,
This is true.
It's all on her head.
yes. And it's, but to get this, I'm no good at it. And we got there and I sort of tried to do it. And the head dance lady came by and went, no. This will never do. And so she stopped and helped me redo her hair. I'll never get it.
Yeah.
I will never be able to do this.
Well, this is just an opportunity to throw more money at it and have a professional do
Hire
it.
someone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll get her a hair and makeup team.
Oh, yeah.
She actually does her makeup really well. She watches a bunch of YouTube videos and does it. But so there are hundreds of girls, there are some guys too, but mostly girls. Hundreds of kids participating in this all day long from like 8 o'clock in the morning till 10 o'clock at night dance competition. And I'm mostly in the audience with the other parents and grandparents and things. You help them get ready and then you leave the dressing room and just come watch all the performances. And I'd say at least half of the people in the audience were looking at their phone the whole time.
Well, this is an opportunity to catch up on your email or maybe sleep.
Like there's a real thing happening in front of you. You can be entertained if you're worried about being entertained. There's a live thing happening.
Well,
in
were
front
they
of you.
but
filming it?
No, they were like on Facebook.
They were looking at Twitter and
But
stuff.
but consider the fact that it might not be that good.
But still,
Yes.
there's a real. Why would you choose that over the real
Well,
thing that's happening?
But again, because what's happening in front of you may not be that good.
But there was a mom, and there were a lot of kids there, and crying babies, and people like sitting there with crying babies.
Yeah.
You get up and you take them into the lobby.
Yeah.
That's rude to sit there with a crying baby while this thing is going on. But there was a mom who had like a 1.5-year-old little boy, and he was sitting there transfixed with what was on stage.
Mm-hmm.
He was quiet.
You know why? Because he didn't have his phone.
No, listen. Watching what was on stage, and I actually saw the mom take her phone and shove it in his hand. And he looked down at it for a minute and then was watching the live thing that was happening in front of him. And the mom took the phone out and like went to the app where the games are and started the game and handed it back. He was being perfectly quiet, was being why not teach your kids to be in the moment and enjoy, to think that they have to have.
Because then I'd have to teach my kid.
But he was already doing it. It wasn't like he was fussing and she was trying to calm him down. He was quietly watching that. Why would you force that phone on him?
Because she's looking around and seeing what the other mothers were doing. Well, she's obviously doing something wrong.
Well, now, try this out, because, Sue and I, no kids. And she was this weekend with our nieces in California. And she told me the story about how she taught them that mixing the food together was okay because it's 3 foods that they like. And she said it took a while for me to do this, but then they finally came around and realized, oh, mixing those flavors together is a wonderful thing. And I said, now, why is it that the parent hasn't done that? And she said, probably because it's easier just to not do that,
And when you're a parent, there are so many things that aren't easy. If you can find the things that are easy.
So is that why?
I mean,
is it just
probably,
easier
sure.
to give the guy the phone?
She was
and,
trying to preemptively. I don't want him to start fussing, so I'm just going to give him this.
Yeah.
But I think that's dangerous. I think that's teaching kids that they can't enjoy watching something happening on a stage, that the choice is always the screen, that the screen is always better than what's, it's one thing if you're sitting in a doctor's office or something and there's nothing to do and then get your app out and have a game. But
I reserve that for being in the bathroom. That's when I do that. I don't take a magazine into the bathroom ever anymore.
But they took first place in one dance and second place in another.
And
even with the faulty dance bun.
What do they get for that?
Bragging rights.
Yeah.
A ribbon?
It's
a cup?
They get
medal.
Like a piece of paper.
A piece of paper.
Yeah, they get
Not even a plaque.
No
certificate.
It was a piece, but then they frame it and hang it up, and so.
I've been playing some fancy dance music.
What sort of music do they dance to?
Yeah.
Is it jazz?
So there's all these there's hip hop and jazz, and so they did a jazz dance and a lyrical dance, which would be
this kind of stuff.
Like this kind of stuff.
I don't know why I was just picturing like ballet.
I don't know, but the more you play that, the more I was inclined to look at my phone.
No, put it down.
Sorry.
Be in the moment.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. We got boners round 1 coming up. Traffic?
Like I said, it's pretty light this morning. I've got green cameras all up and down the Wasatch Front. I think people are on spring break. So I don't know where you are. They're probably sleeping in. That's traffic.
All right, here are your boner candidates coming up. Round 1, boner candidate number 1, another stupid selfie attempt. Number 2, the demons did it. And number 3, well, he never got in trouble for burning cars before.
All right. We got boners round 1, big boy news coming up. Stand by for all of that. Got to tell you about Zero Res.
Zero Res carpet cleaning. Right now, $33 per room, or that's carpet or tile. Minimums do apply. You should call them about that. But please, Gina can tell you the best because she.
I use them a lot.
Zero Res comes to her house. You've got them just kind of on a weekly schedule now.
Well, and it's not that I'm getting my carpets cleaned all the time. They do other things too. So one time I'll have them come and do carpets, and then another time I'll have them come and do upholstery, and another time I'll have them do tile. So we're sort of on a rotation that way.
Zero Res, they are very, very good at what they do, and no shampoos, no chemicals, nothing harsh. So even in the winter when they come, you don't have to leave the windows open or anything like that to let the smell out.
No, I had it done this winter.
Or to have the carpet dry faster because it dries very fast on its own because they don't use any of that kind of stuff. They just suck the dirt out. So call Zero Res. Make sure you tell them that X96 Radio from Hell sent you. The phone number is 801-288-ZERO. That's ZERO. Or 9376, 288-9376. Or go to the website, Zero Res.
The date for the Radio from Hell International Film Festival is set, and this time we're going legit.
All we need now is you. I had a bizarre experience yesterday.
What?
So I don't order a lot of stuff from Amazon, but my gosh, it's really convenient.
I was going to say, why not?
I mean, I don't know why I don't do it more, but it's
because it hurts local businesses.
Yeah, I'd rather shop
That's
locally.
the reason you shouldn't.
I'd rather shop locally, but there were every once in a while there's a specialty item I can't find, or I can't find. Maybe it's some clothing I can't find the right size or whatever. So anyway, I ordered this item. It doesn't matter what it was from Amazon. And it was $10, and it was free shipping because I'd have Amazon Prime. So, and then the way they track the packages, man, it's really slick. I mean, they say, okay, the package is left here, and now it's here, and now it's here, and then they say the package has been delivered to your house. It's on your front porch, and it was there at 3:15.
Yeah.
So when it said that, I went out and there was no package, and I'm looking around. I go, "There's no package anywhere." But clearly it said 3:15. So I got a hold of Amazon, and they said, well, I said maybe it just got delivered. It must have just gotten delivered somewhere else. And they said, well, we'll just refund your money. And I said, well, I don't know. Should I wait a day or two? Well, you could, but we'll just refund your money, and we'll give you a $5 credit for your trouble. And I said, okay, thanks. And then I thought, I'm not going to order that thing again anyway. I'll go try and find it somewhere else. So yesterday, the woman next door comes over and says, here, this was delivered to my house. Now, Amazon has already said they're going to credit my account for $10. So she comes over and says, here, this package was delivered here accidentally. It's for you. It's the missing item. So my decision then is, do I keep it and steal $10 from Amazon? Or no, I don't. So
now
no.
you're on record.
Right. Well,
This is the radio bill?
So I say to myself, no, of course I don't. And I called them. It was such a hassle to get them to take $10 back from me. I was on the phone for a half an hour. It's like they couldn't figure out how to do it practically.
Nobody's ever called to give us money back.
I said, I just don't want to cheat you out of this $10. Okay. It's like
We're not used to people.
It's just $10.
Doing the right thing.
I mean, I was on hold for 20 minutes while this woman tried to figure out how to. She wasn't quite. So either she was inept or it just doesn't happen. I don't know. But what a hassle to get to give them back their $10. And I hope I still get my $5 credit.
I'm sure you will.
I hope.
Data rates apply.
All right, it's time for round one of your boner voting. Presenting to you now 3 news stories. These are examples of bad, stupid, or funny human behavior. And you will decide with your votes of these 3 candidates which one is the worst, which one deserves to go forward to boner fight and possibly become boner of the day. Yeah, if it wins here, it's not boner of the day yet. It'll have to defeat the winner of round 2's voting. Yeah, we do this again at 8:20 with 3 more candidates.
How dare we?
And then we take the winner of each round and put them both into Boner Fight at 9:20. That's when you decide Boner of the Day. All right, so let's get round 1 underway. Pick your champion. 2 candidates now, a third after the news. Once you've heard all 3, then you will vote. One of you lucky random Boner voters will receive.
I can't buy it. Gotta win it. Radio from Hell Boner t-shirt courtesy of Excel Automotive Repair, Radio from Hell's official auto mechanics. Don't buy a lemon. Try Excel Automotive's $50 bumper-to-bumper used car checkover before you buy. Limit 2 cars per $50.
Boner candidate number 1. Another stupid selfie attempt. This is in Arizona. Please understand why barriers are put in place. Sending prayers to the family tonight, so reads a Saturday night tweet from Arizona's Wildlife World Zoo in the wake of an incident involving a guest and a jaguar.
Oh.
The Litchfield Park Zoo says that same evening a female guest crossed a barrier in an attempt to take a photo of a jaguar with herself, and she was attacked by the jaguar,
You asked for it, honey.
sustaining non-life-threatening injuries on one of her arms. The animal was in the enclosure the entire time. Local officials clarified that it wasn't just a photo, it was a selfie. The woman was attempting to take a selfie near the fence of the jaguar enclosure when the cat reached out and grabbed her arm. A witness said that after hearing the 30-something woman's screams, he and his family ran over and distracted the animal with a water bottle. The jaguar goes to let go of the girl and take the water bottle, and the claw just caught a hold of her sweater, and at that point, I could see that it was no longer attached to the girl's actual arm, only the sweater, so I grabbed the girl on her torso and pulled her back. Paramedics were called. She was treated. She's going to be okay. She actually apologized to the people at the wildlife sanctuary.
Your fault.
She said, I'm sorry, I was stupid, I shouldn't have done that. Another stupid selfie attempt, Boner candidate number 1. And by the way, there's no retaliation planned for the jaguar.
No,
he was fine. Here's Boner candidate number 2. The demons did it. Gardenia McCullough appeared in court Friday morning on car theft charges in Jacksonville, Florida, with bond set at $15,000. Ms. McCullough was arrested after stealing a Toyota RAV4 from an Ace Rent-A-Car. She was found less than a mile away, hiding at a hotel. On the scene, McCullough told local news station, "The demons told me to steal that car.
The demons.
I didn't take it. Demons took it."
Well, and then you got to arrest them.
Look at her, x96.com/live. There she is. You can see that the demons are probably telling her to do lots of things. She continued, I tried to rent the car, but y'all didn't want to rent me a car. Y'all talking about how y'all didn't have any cars for me to rent. I stole y'all's damn car. Police found McCullough hiding in the hotel room. When they eventually got into her room, they handcuffed her, put her in the patrol car. Next morning, when she appeared in court wearing a red jumpsuit, indicating she says, I require a little extra attention at the jail because the demons are bugging me all night.
This is a sad mental illness.
Or it's really Satan.
Or she's got demon problems.
Hail Satan!
Hail Satan! She needs somebody to help her with the demons. She does have several prior arrests in her record, including charges of trespassing, resisting police, theft of a firearm, battery of a law enforcement officer, and more. Boner candidate number 2. Listen, you wouldn't rent me that car, so then the demons did it.
All right.
Coming up in a moment, Boner candidate number 3. Well, he never got in trouble for burning cars before.
Boner candidate number 3 for round 1, coming up after this big boy news and opinioendo, brought to you by.
Since 2010, Utah has added 4 new households for every 3 new housing units. There are more households than available housing units, and prices are skyrocketing. Visit UtahHousingGap.com to join the conversation and be part of the solution.
Here's that story, Carrie. George Foreman's daughter, Frida, who followed in her dad's footsteps and became a professional boxer, has died. Law enforcement sources say that Frida's body was found in her home near Houston by a family member. Cops are awaiting a report from the coroner's office on the cause of death. No foul play suspected. Frida began boxing professionally as a middleweight in 2000, won her first 5 fights before losing a 6th bout in 2001. She retired after the loss with a pro record of 5-1, 3 knockouts. She was born in Texas, one of George's 5 daughters.
But her name's not George. I thought all his kids were named George.
He also has 5 sons, also all named George.
Wow. 10 kids?
Yeah. Frida's middle name is George.
Oh, okay. I was going to say there's got to be a George
she
in there
appeared
somewhere.
in a couple of documentaries about her dad and had a guest role on a 2000 episode of King of the Hill. She wrote on her Twitter bio, aside from my love of family, being a good mother, wife, and friend, I aspire to make a positive difference in our American criminal justice system. She is survived by her husband, 2 daughters, 3 grandchildren, her parents, and 11 siblings. She was 42 years old. Well, he is Johnny Rotten, and they don't call him that for nothing. I don't know if you saw this over the weekend.
I did.
So it was in Los Angeles on Wednesday to celebrate Epic's new docuseries, Punk, and things got pretty testy during a panel discussion.
You mean they got punk?
When Johnny Rotten, nearly came to blows with the Ramones' Marky Ramone.
What were they fighting about?
Well, again, Gina, I'm about to tell you. According to Rolling Stone, Lydon scoffed at Marky Ramone's comments about the Ramones' legacy. Oh, you're not even an original Ramone, Lydon said. But I did the Blank Generation album with Richard Hell, and you took his image. All you guys took Richard Hell's image. That's all you did. It even goes better from there. Do yourself a favor, read the full transcript. It's provided by Rolling Stone, but it's pretty funny. Lydon gets up and goes over, and it's like he's going to fight him, and it looks like he could beat him up, too. He's still pretty feisty.
Mm-hmm.
Sid Vicious was the star of that band, Ramone said, prompting Lydon to smile and stick his tongue out at him. That's right, he was. He was the star for a-hole fake idiots like you. Enjoy your drugs.
Enjoy your drugs.
And have an effing happy death.
Enjoy your drugs.
Punk music for me was proof positive that we could change lives by music, meaning what we said, attack the political system. This daft C-word is into effing drugs. and then he attacked somebody else too.
Well, he
Henry Rollins.
Yeah, the 2 observations I took from this, because I watched it and read it.
Yeah.
Because as you know, I'm a fan.
Yeah.
He attacked Henry Rollins, called his music crap.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You know, and Rollins just laughed.
Yeah, he just went.
He just,
whatever.
you know, unlike Marky.
Yeah.
Hey.
Who was hey, you know, like all pro wrestling.
Yeah.
Rollins just went, you know, this is a legend
I'm not
making
gonna
fun of me.
argue with- yeah.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
You know,
he know this is what Johnny is supposed to do.
This is what he does.
This is what he is supposed to do, and I'm fine with it.
so that
And
was,
he's not wrong about Marky Ramone.
he's not wrong. And that was my first observation. My second observation was, after I watched the video, was old man fight,
Yeah.
because that's what it looked like.
It was pretty funny. Hey, I didn't know anybody still ate this stuff, but 2,871 pounds of chicken and rice products under the Chef Boyardee name are being recalled.
Boy, oh boy, RD.
I didn't know people still ate it, but the products are labeled as chicken and rice, despite containing beef ravioli products.
What?
Yeah.
Now I'm really confused. Is it the
It's
ravioli?
mislabeled. It's mislabeled.
They won't know the difference. It all tastes the same.
I know. But so Chef Boyardee products recalled for misbranding undeclared allergens. If you've got this, the items are 7.5 ounce canned microwavable bowls, Chef Boyardee rice with chicken and vegetables on the label.
But inside it's
Something else.
something else.
It's beef ravioli.
I'm telling you, people won't notice.
This isn't chicken and rice.
They'll just eat
No,
it anyway.
they'll just eat it. But I don't know why. So, some people are allergic to it. So.
I think that's what'll happen. Is this isn't chicken and rice? Oh well.
Oh well. After weeks of getting nowhere on a bill on daylight saving time, finally, apparently the Utah State Legislature will consider it.
Oh yeah. After waking up this morning, they will.
I think this is the sort of thing that should be nationwide. Either we all do it or none of us do
I know.
it.
Yeah.
It's very confusing.
It is confusing because there are
It's like what,
places,
Arizona.
and not every place in Arizona does it, and
Yeah.
it makes it's a mess.
It's hard for business.
It is.
Oh, are you open?
Yeah.
Well, we're not, but they are in another city. So.
A restaurant owner in northern Utah was charged Friday with abusing employees. Now, I only bring it up because the name of the restaurant is Dustin Brent Reliston of Roy is charged in Box Elder County's First District Court with doing all kinds of nasty things to some of his employees, sexually and physically assaulting them. The name of the restaurant is The Rusty Spoon.
Why would you eat there?
I don't know.
Why would
it
you?
says Rollison and his wife own the popular Rusted Spoon restaurant in Perry, Utah.
That sounds
Box
terrible.
Elder County. I know, but he says it's popular. It was once time the manager of the Stagecoach Family Restaurant in Ogden. You remember that place on Wall
Yeah,
Avenue?
I remember that.
Wall and 12th Street.
Before we order, could we get some clean spoons?
The
Some
rusty-
proper spoons, please.
Why would you name a restaurant the Rusty Spoon?
It's the Rusted Spoon.
Rusted or rusty?
It's
Rusted. I just looked up their website.
Wait, no.
Carrie, they have biscuits and gravy.
Oh, I'm sorry.
of course they do.
I'm sorry. Yes, it is the Rusted Spoon.
But could I get a clean spoon to eat it with?
No,
please?
only have rusted spoons here. I'm sorry.
Well, that's just a deal breaker. That could be bad for me.
There's
Bill, they have a chef salad.
I'm not eating in a place called the Rusted Spoon. I'm sorry. And I wonder what old restaurant building it's in. That it used.
It's a fairly new restaurant. It looks like.
You mean a new building?
I mean, no,
No,
fairly.
yeah, but I wonder what old restaurant was there
I don't-
before, because it's in Perry. And there's a new liquor store that has a wine cave.
You had me at new liquor store, but now you intrigued me with wine cave.
New state liquor store with it's dramatically different than other liquor stores in Utah. It has a wine cave, and it's let's see, more local beers, wines, and it's but it's in Syracuse, Carrie.
Oh,
So you have to go to Syracuse.
go all the way up there.
Yeah. I don't know why. So I guess it can. So that means they can sell chilled beverages. Was that what that would mean? A
Well,
wine cave?
I didn't think that was legal.
I know. In addition, Utah's Department of Alcohol Beverage Control has partnered with the Utah Department of Agriculture and Food to promote more Utah-made spirits, wine, and beers. A pair of displays will feature local companies including Beehive Distillery, Epic Brewing Company, and Dented Brick. We looked, I guess the wine cave. It must be.
I just want to go live in the wine.
Do they still have some liquor stores? I know the one in Holiday. I think they had this chiller. So when you buy wine and it's a big kind of a barrel and you can stick your wine in it.
I've never seen that.
Yeah,
And
we had one at our liquor store, and then we don't have it anymore.
Do they take it out?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you could stick it in there and it'll quick chill it. Like
Yeah, the one down on Murray Holiday Road was
did it
that
work
way.
very well? I
Yeah,
never
it worked
tried
well,
it.
but then it was gone. I never asked about it because I never used it, but I saw it.
Yeah.
That's weird. Rusted Spoon used to be Kathy's Cafe. Has been there for decades.
Mm-hmm.
Moore's Cafe and Kathy's Cafe were there before the Rusted Spoon.
Yeah, I knew it must be something.
Rusted Spoon is freaking delicious.
Well,
Awesome location right there by the theater.
okay, well,
It looks they got the French toast that they put the cornflake crumbs on the outside. That looks pretty good.
well, they're in trouble. So, and we've got a lot of problems with illegal border crossings, as we all know. It's becoming an epidemic. It's becoming a national crisis on the northern border. Canada. More than 960 people crossed into the U.S. illegally from Canada last year. That's a 91% increase from the prior year.
Well, we should build a wall.
I know.
Gonna build a wall. It'll be beautiful. Canada's gonna pay for it.
It'll be an ice wall. It'll
Be a wall of ice like that in the Game of Thrones. It'll be just like that, and Canada will pay for it. You hear me, Justin? You're going to pay for it.
You hear me, Justin?
All right. Weather or traffic?
Oh, so today it'll be mostly clear, 47 for a high. Tonight we'll have a chance of some snow. Not a lot of snow, but they're calling it a snow event on Wednesday, so more chance on Wednesday. Traffic is actually pretty good. Only a couple things to tell you about. Crash southbound I-15, 114th south, off to the left shoulder. Crash southbound US 89 at the I-84 junction, 65th south in Weber County. Left lane affected there. Crash southbound I-15 milepost 326 in Kaysville. Celebrate spring with a big hail, yes. Scott Hale Plumbing, Heating and Air cleans mainline pipes for $49, including camera inspection. Or take $100 off a $300 repair. Call 264-HAIL.
All right, thank you.
All right, here's boner candidate number 3. Well, you never got in trouble for burning cars before. This is in Bexar County, Texas. A local fire captain is charged with arson and retaliation after he had a church friend burn his car, then threatened someone to whom he had confessed to stop them from telling others, a warrant says. Michael Anthony Salinas, a captain with the Emergency Services District 5 Fire and Rescue Department, confessed to a confidential law enforcement source that he had a friend from church burn his 2017 Ford Focus because the $500 monthly payments were too high, and he wanted to move out of his parents' home. Salinas told the confidential source that he had a friend take his car out into the middle of the night, and burn it. Authorities with the Bexar County Sheriff's Office found the burning vehicle and reported it to the fire marshal's office. An arson investigator assigned to the case noted in court documents that the scene smelled of gasoline and that there were trails of ignitable liquid leading to and from the vehicle. Investigators said the confidential source contacted law enforcement and told authorities that Salinas confessed to having the car burned by his friend and that his friend had burned cars before.
I'd done it before.
And had never gotten in trouble for it.
I get away with it all the time.
According to court documents, Salinas' parents had suspicions about what had happened to the car because he had taken his personal belongings out of it, including his daughter's car seat, before the car was found burned.
Well, those are expensive. I don't want to have to buy another.
He said,
wait a minute, he has a daughter?
Yeah, he says he didn't want to make the payments anymore. So he wanted lower payments so he could afford to move out of his parents' house.
So burning the car was
his solution.
The solution.
And
clearly he had no other choice.
Right. And he got his friend to do it because he's burned cars before and never gotten in trouble for it.
That's the best part of this.
Boner candidate number 3.
All right. Let's review the first 2 and vote.
Boner candidate number 1, another stupid selfie attempt. A woman in pursuit of a great selfie with a jaguar gets attacked by the animal. Boner candidate number 2, the demons did it. A Florida woman claims that she stole a rental car because, well, she didn't really steal it. The demons did. And boner candidate number 3, well, he never got in trouble for burning cars before.
All right. Let's go. This is round 1 of your boner voting. You've got to decide of these 3 candidates, which one is the worst, which one deserves to go forward to boner fight and possibly become boner of the day. See if it wins here. It has to defeat the winner of round 2's voting. We do this again with 3 more candidates. We do it at 8:20. And once you've picked both of your champions, one from round 1, one from round 2, we'll throw them both into boner fight at 9:20. That's when you'll decide boner of the day. All right, let's do it. Champion for round 1. You decide 1, 2, or 3. Remember the candidate number, the one that you think should win. Put that single digit in the message of a text. Text that to 33986. Or you can call 877-602-9696. Or go online, x96.com. Look for the box that says Boner Voting March 11 and vote there. All right? You've got less than 300 seconds. Let's go.
Start your workday at 10 a.m. with a 1-hour nonstop music wingding on X96.
Hi, Festus.
Hey, Mom.
So we went down to Volkswagen Southtown like we do once a month.
I like that we have that in our schedule.
We have a date at Volkswagen Southtown.
We do.
And this month, part of our
Somebody sent a picture, tweeted a picture of. I was talking earlier about my strange gum obsession when I was a little kid, and I liked to get under the tables at restaurants, and I would take gum from under the table, already chewed gum, and I would chew it. And I also liked the way the gum looked underneath the table, the restaurant table. It was pretty. It was kind of like a abstract art. And somebody sent a picture. Kara Jane Prower sent this picture of this gum wall.
I've seen the gum wall.
Well, and I was going to say, why didn't you bring this up? Because I remember you talking about this. It's in Portland.
Portland. Like a whole alleyway that's just covered in gum.
Yeah.
It just I don't know how it started.
Didn't occur to you to bring that up when we were talking about it before.
No, I forgot about it until she.
Is this the one? Is this it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not. It is like an entire alleyway. It's cool looking.
Yeah.
You would love it. You should make a pilgrimage.
So this shows you why I thought that looked so cool when I was a kid.
I have an idea.
Yeah.
We get a picture frame, no picture, and we set it up somewhere, and every morning you put your gum there.
Well, it's just the same kind of gum all the time.
Then there's the challenge. You'll have to switch
oh
up
no,
gums.
I'm sorry, it's Seattle. It's not
Seattle.
Portland.
Seattle?
It's Seattle.
Okay. Let's maybe we should have a gum. I think this is a good idea. Let's have a gum picture frame in here and invite guests when they come here if they're chewing gum, or let's just say anytime Richie invites a guest to come to the studio, say, and we'd like you to be chewing gum to add to our gum frame.
Yeah.
And we'll make a gum piece of gum art.
Yeah, but then are you going to be tempted to?
No, I'm over that. I'm over that obsession where
He won't try to pull the gum off and eat it. No.
But I think it'd be nice to have a piece of gum art.
What color of gum is this? Not even aware. It's blue. Okay. So my contributions would be blue.
Well, does it stay blue after you're done chewing it?
Yeah.
Okay. What kind of gum is it?
Orbit? You like the Orbit.
That 5 gum?
Oh, 5.
No, I only bought Orbit because it was at Costco.
Yeah, that's
and
why.
And now they carry the 5 gum.
I chew the Orbit that I get it at Costco.
And this is cobalt flavored. I have no
Wow.
idea what that is.
What does a cobalt taste like?
Minty.
See, there's the gum I was chewing.
That's
earlier. It's
kind of green, but not really.
Pale green.
Yeah.
Pale green. Smells so good.
All right, there you go.
Gum fetishist.
So is there some? Well, you're kind of handy, Carrie. Maybe you could make the frame.
I'm busy.
Carrie's redoing his house.
I'm busy with the basement thing.
Gary Jackson, Bill Allred, and Gina Barberi on X96.
All right, 7:47.
That's
Let's
too fast for me to write all that down.
we'll go back and
Okay.
repeat it. Let's award round one of your boners.
And it's brought to you in part by Poke Chops.
And when it comes to mortgage lending, call Rick at Vintage Lending. Where else you going to go? Bill says that better than I do.
Where else you gonna go?
16 years experience. Call Rick 801-809-SAVE or go to loansbyrick.com.
Boner candidate number one was another stupid selfie attempt, which could have been much more serious than it was. Woman attacked by a jaguar. She went over the barriers and trying to get a shot with this beautiful animal who grabbed her arm. Boner candidate number two, the demons did it. They stole that car, that rental car, not me, the demons did. And boner candidate number three, he's never gotten in trouble for burning cars before. Local fire captain, this guy is. He had a friend from church
This whole story
I
is
know.
great.
burn his car, take it and burn it.
And I don't know how that saves you money either. I'm not quite... Insurance claim?
None of this was thought through very
Because
well.
if it's gone, there's nothing they can do.
He
right?
wanted to get out of living at his parents' house. Somehow this would help. But his rationale was we could get away with this because old Carl, he's burnt cars before and gotten away with it. At least he told me he has.
I always got him, Carl. He does this kind of thing. He can help you out.
He's a car burner.
I know a guy.
So Philip Lowe won a boner T-shirt from us for being a random voter, and the winner, the selfie lady, she got a lot of votes,
Should have.
but the car burner
Yeah, that's
wins
a good
round one.
one. Selfie lady kind of got her own
Yeah.
by
All
getting
right.
clawed at.
So that's your winner of round one's voting. It now goes forward to Boner Fight. It might be Boner of the Day. It'll have to defeat the winner of round two's voting. We'll do this again in about a half hour from now with 3 more candidates. And we'll take the winners and throw them both into Boner Fight at 9:20. That's when you'll decide Boner of the Day. Real quick here. At this time tomorrow,
Yeah,
Travis the Pieman will be here.
with pie.
Well, he can't come without pie.
well, he has
He's not
before.
allowed.
He's bringing pie because it's Pie Day. P.I.
Isn't Pie Day?
No, it's the
14th.
It's the
is Pie Day.
14th.
He said this tomorrow is Pie Day, P.I.
Well, okay.
what
Well,
he
I'm
said.
not going to turn down free pie because that is the best kind of pie. Free pie.
I don't know these things. Oh, Thursday is going to do it.
Yeah,
Thursday.
that's
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
okay.
pie.
I read that wrong. Thursday. Sorry.
Okay.
All right.
I wonder if he's found a job. You know, he was.
Perhaps he
don't
has
know.
a baking job.
I hope he has.
Should. Let's see now, Gina. You speaking of
I saw-
delicious things.
Speaking of treats,
I saw a picture of you at high tea with I recognized you and one other person in the photo.
my daughter Jonesy.
Yeah, and then there was a little teeny tiny girl.
Yep, that's Charlie, and then Amanda, and well, it was a big group of people that went. So my sister-in-law Amy, you guys know Amy, that owns the Ruin, and
How is Amy?
Amy's great. Amy is.
She's a force of nature.
Well, I was just gonna say, Amy is one of those people that just kind of radiates energy, and by
She
that I
does.
mean she's just always doing 100 things,
She really does.
and she's involved, and she's volunteers, and she's also good at like, let's all go to tea. I'm going to set it up. We're all going to go to tea.
She's an organizer.
Yes.
Yes.
And I am grateful for that because I don't do that.
She's a leader. You're a follower.
Yes. I'm like, what time do I need to be there? I will be there. And I'm glad she did because I got together with some family members I don't see very often, and I thought tea. I've never done tea at the Grand America before, and it's like an English tea. There was clotted cream.
Ooh.
What did you
Wait.
do with that?
Yeah, Gina, tell me that you will use clotted cream.
Well, because I know it's almost butter.
You will.
It's almost,
Well-
but it's this far to
I
butter.
can't believe it's almost butter.
You will But the name of it doesn't sound very
No, it
appetizing,
doesn't.
does
No.
it?
They shouldn't call it that.
They should have a marketing something.
But they have a big menu of tea,
Okay.
all different kinds of tea,
All right.
or hot chocolate, so the kids can get hot chocolate. And they have like 5 different kinds of hot chocolate.
Do they have booze?
You can get champagne if you want.
There
but
we
this is
go.
tea. This is
Well,
not.
but Gina, really, high tea in England is really an excuse for people to have cocktails.
Really?
Yeah,
No,
pretty much.
So they bring you out a tray of, like this 3-tiered tray of goodies,
Mm-hmm.
and there's sweet things on there.
course.
There's little eclairs and little madeleines, little macaroons.
Scones?
Yes, that's what you do with the clotted cream. Yes.
Put them on scones.
But then they have the little sandwiches. And you guys would like this because they had teeny tiny Cuban sandwiches, like little bites, but that's got cheese on it.
Of course, you're not going to have that.
And they had little tiny sliders,
Okay.
which I had.
Did they have radish sandwiches?
Well, they had cucumber sandwiches.
Yeah, those are good.
I'd never had the cucumber sandwich.
Very
before
British thing, yes.
Mm-hmm. A little bit of butter.
Because I didn't know you could have a sandwich that didn't involve meat. I thought the very definition of sandwich.
Have you had a peanut butter sandwich before? Huh?
The definition sandwiches should have meat in my world.
You've not had a peanut butter sandwich before.
It just in my world, it's meat.
It's this close to meat.
Yeah, it's
Peanut butter
protein.
It's like clotted cream. It's
Yeah.
this close to.
Almost meat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But a cucumber's nowhere near meat. Right?
Well, it's.
Couldn't
No,
be
you're
any.
absolutely right.
I guess you're right.
I
yeah.
would say that's as far away from meat as you could be.
So a little butter and a little salt.
And a little olive on the top.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I was very proud of myself
Cut the crust off.
because I just dove right in.
Dove right in, and you enjoyed it.
It was good.
It was crunchy and refreshing and delicious, right?
It was. So I am growing. I'm all.
What a big girl.
I am proud of myself.
What an adventurer.
Here's your next adventure. You ready?
Yeah.
You get some of that mahamra
Yeah. Oh yeah.
or the hummus.
Yeah.
And you slice up some cucumbers and dip it in there.
Just
Delicious.
like that.
Just those two things.
Wow.
You'll love it.
It's a whole new world.
It's a taste sensation.
And they had a harpist. Someone playing the harp.
A harp player.
Yeah. But doing popular music.
Really?
Like. So I was.
Dum 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 dum.
So I was playing Name That Tune with. You know how I like to do. Like
I'm sure everyone was entertained.
Like Don't Stop Believing.
Oh God.
On harp?
On the harp.
Okay, we need to have that. I need to.
No, it was great.
No, we need the harp player. Was it a woman?
Yeah.
We need her to come in.
To bring the
We
whole
need her to bring the
and-
harp
Yeah.
and have her play some tunes and see how you
It
do
was popular.
playing Name That Tune
There.
with a harp.
Yep.
Did you catch her name?
I didn't, but I'm sure we can.
Yes, here on the menu we have at least 50 different teas from throughout the world. You got Constant Comment? I like Constant Comment.
Yeah.
Sleepy Time.
I'll have some of that,
You
or
got-
the Sleepy Time tea.
I want Morning Thunder.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
So
I
it
just-
was. I encourage you to go. It's just a fun kind of different thing to go do. Traffic, you want some of that? Let's see. Friends of the program saying southbound I-15 Layton Parkway to Kaysville exit is awful. I don't know why it's awful, but it's awful.
It's like suddenly there's traffic.
Crash northbound off-ramp Pleasant Grove Boulevard causing backup onto the freeway. We've got a crash 114th south southbound and then northbound at 102nd south. So those are kind of the same area, just opposite sides of the freeway. And let's see. Yeah, that's about it.
All
If you
right.
see something, you can text it to us, 33986. Now at Big O Tires, save up to $120 on select sets of tires with paid installation. Only Big O Tires, the team you trust.
Yeah. Big O Tires.
Do you want to tell people more about that?
Sure.
Okay.
Let me tell you, I go to the Big O Tires there on 2nd East and South Temple. You know, I think I told you this last time we talked about Big O tires. I went in. I was sure that I needed new tires, and I said I probably need to get these new tires on the CRV. Bill, sorry to tell you, I'd love to sell you new tires right now, but no, they're fine. Why don't you come and see me when the winter's over? Okay, I will. Big O tires right now. Right now, Big O tires, you can get $70 instant savings plus $50 if you use your Big O credit card, for a total of $120 savings on Goodyear, Yokohama, Continental, Nitto, and Toyo tires through April 1st. They have all kinds of tires, not just the Big O brand, although I like the Big O brand myself, but you can get the lowest price on every tire every day at Big O with all the major tire brands available: Hancock, Aspen, Mesa, Michelin, BF Goodrich, Sumitomo, and the Big O brand, of course. So go to bigotires.com for more. They're locally owned and operated. They have financing available. Big O, the team you trust.
Here at X96, we're not going to pretend that we're the smartest people in the room or the world. I mean, come on.
Do we still have popcorn in the building?
Yeah, why?
Because we should get rid of it all.
This might be the evidence that we have some. I'm eating it. God, you're a genius. You should be a detective.
Everybody knows you're eating it. Can we get rid of all the popcorn in the building so Bill doesn't eat it on the air anymore?
I'm attempting to get rid of it right now. I'm eating it.
But the fact that you have a small bowl of it tells me there's a bigger bag of it on your desk, and we'll be enjoying this
There
for
are
weeks to
3
come.
big bags of it on my desk.
You know,
And don't worry yourself about it. It's fine.
if you would hurry and eat it, then he wouldn't be able to.
So I need to take care
Yeah,
of
you
it.
need to take some initiative.
She
here.
won't touch any of it.
I will.
No, this is Thai curry coconut. She
Yeah,
won't
no,
touch
I
it.
won't eat that one.
And then there's white cheddar pepper.
No, I
she
won't.
won't touch that. And then there's seaweed.
No,
she won't touch that either.
I like the rosemary truffle one
It's gone.
Yeah, it was the first to go
because it's the best.
because it's the best.
No, it's the only one you'll eat. Does not mean it's the best.
If it's gone, it's the best.
The Thai curry coconut is the best.
Is that what you have
It's good
there?
too.
Yeah.
So weeks and weeks we'll be enjoying.
No, I'm taking it home today.
Okay, good.
Don't worry about it. I'll take it home.
Okay, good.
And
yeah.
you don't have to call attention to it.
No, I don't, because everybody can tell.
No,
And that's really why
can't.
he wanted to get off the phone. He has a phobia about hearing people eating.
Oh, they couldn't tell.
They could.
No,
Yes,
they
they-
can't
yes, they
tell.
can.
You cannot tell. But I'm eating popcorn on the air right now.
No.
There's
Not
no way you can tell. I'm a professional and I know how to do it. I am a professional radio personality who knows.
I was going to say
Now,
half
if it was
half
TV.
half of that sentence is true.
If it was TV, you could tell because you'd see me doing
I
it.
think Dan Rascone has stories of news anchors eating.
I bet he doesn't.
Listen, I've seen Dan Rascone pick his teeth while doing a news story.
On a live shot.
Yeah. Standing there with a toothpick going, well, tonight's news.
Atropos tweets, I hope that someday I can win a prize and have Bill ask me questions with a mouthful of popcorn.
Listen, these are our friends. You know, you eat popcorn with friends. These are all our friends.
It just is going to make people hungry. That's what it does.
I am hungry now, actually. Talking about all
Well, the
this.
popcorn, there's
Thai curry.
on his desk.
Thai curry coconut.
featuring one group for strategy board games, another for party-type games. Stop by Hastur, 6831 South State, or HasturGames.com.
Well, look who showed up.
Hi.
It's Bill Frost. He's here to talk about what's on the TV. Yep, he's going to tell us anything you want to watch this week. Maybe something from last week. I don't know. Did you ever talk about Now Apocalypse?
No, I didn't, because I really didn't know what it was, and after watching the first episode last night, I still don't know what it is.
Yeah, I think I'm going to take a look at it and see if I can figure it out.
I want to see more before rendering a judgment, because after that first episode, I'm like, what?
Apparently, it's very odd. Bill writes a column for Slug Magazine on a monthly basis. He also does a podcast called TV10 and does music stuff with a band called Magda Vega, and it's all available to you under one rooftop called BillFrost.tv.
Yeah. That's a hell of an intro.
You better live up to it then. Come on.
It gets harder and harder to live up to every week. It keeps going.
That's pretty good, isn't it?
I know, it's very good. It's too good almost.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah,
well, maybe I'll just start saying, hey, now it's this guy.
Now it's this guy. Yeah, well, that's the way it was back in the beginning. So.
Now it's this guy.
He was like, who's this?
Yeah. Huh? Who are you
was
again?
The way it went. Yeah.
Who are
exactly,
you again?
Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah. Coming up this week, the tomorrow night, the season finales of 2 shows I think you should catch up on.
Okay.
Project Blue Book on the History Channel. It ends its first season tomorrow night, based on the UFO research government thing.
How's it been?
I quite like it. It's also got a bit of a sexy Russian spy intrigue in there as well. It's not just about UFOs. And also corporate.
Great show.
You've had a few drops from it.
I love that show.
Yes.
It's hilarious.
And going all the way to Thursday, season 3 of The Good Fight, that other show on CBS All Access.
Oh.
The non-Star Trek show on
Star
CBS.
Trek.
Yes.
Carrie doesn't watch anything else.
Yeah.
I've recently written a review. It should be published sometime in the next few weeks all about CBS All Access. And during all my research, I come to find unless you're into Star Trek, there's no reason to have this.
Well, no, the new Twilight Zone series.
And
that's right.
So there's 2 things. That'll be in a few weeks.
Yeah, in a few weeks that starts up, and it's supposed to be pretty good.
I saw a promo for it today, or a picture from it with that plane. You see it looks like a plane. It looks like what you're looking at is a shot of a plane from beneath flying overhead, and then it pulls back, and it's actually a plane sticking in the ground.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And also season 17 of Project Runway on Thursday. It's back for 2 things. It's back on Bravo.
Okay.
After years away, and Heidi Klum and Tim Gunn are gone.
Really?
They're doing their own, pretty much the same show, but they're doing it for Amazon.
Because Tim Gunn was the reason that I watched that show.
Yeah, well, he'll be doing a very similar show. He and Heidi Klum will be doing it for Amazon sometime.
What's that one called?
Do not know yet.
Okay.
Project Catwalk.
Yes.
Same thing.
It is. The new show is hosted by Carly Kloss and Christian Siriano.
Ooh, Carly Kloss is a Kushner now, which is hard to say. She married Jared's brother.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, there's some good PR.
Yeah.
Friday, Arrested Development, the final, the second half of season 5. It shows you how much interest is drained out of Arrested Development.
Well, it was that season where they did it sequentially, and that really kind of pissed people off. It kind of put me off. I mean,
yeah.
You know.
So the Buster's on trial for murder. He may or may not have killed Lucille too.
Well, that's funny.
You got that.
All right.
And you know, it seems so long since the first half of this season was on that they're still working on building a smart border wall. The Bluths are.
That's right.
We didn't think this would still be a topic by the time this rolled around. No, still is. And also season 2 of Queer Eye.
Oh yeah.
On the Netflix.
Okay.
That starts. Yeah.
A show for Carrie. An animated sci-fi anthology series called Love, Death, and Robots.
Yes, I read about this.
From Tim Miller and David Fincher.
Huh.
And it's
both very talented people.
Yeah, it's an animated sci-fi anthology series. And they say here it's artists from all over the world.
Yeah. So it'll be different every episode.
Yes. And it said it's based on comic book material from the 1970s. That translates to me, heavy metal.
Yeah. Yeah. Or horror comics
Yeah.
and things like that.
Go ahead and wiki Heavy Metal Magazine, kids. It's not about music.
Yeah, and there was a movie too.
Yeah, terrible movie.
Yeah.
It was not good. The soundtrack was great.
Yeah, and you may have wondered why Idris Elba was on Saturday Night Live.
What's
yeah,
he promoting?
He didn't say.
He's promoting a Netflix series from the UK called Turn Up Charlie.
Was this the one where he's a nanny?
Turn Up Charlie.
Not turnip.
Not turnip, not the
not the vegetable. Okay.
No, Turn Up Charlie. He plays a struggling DJ. Here's your suspension of disbelief. Good-looking Idris Elba, possibly the most good-looking man on the planet.
Well, they say so.
He's a struggling DJ, and also unlucky in love bachelor.
Yeah.
Well,
and he becomes a nanny to his best friend's problem child daughter.
Yeah, you wouldn't.
Well, if his performance on Saturday Night Live doing comedy was any indication, he can't do
It's
it.
not his strong. We need you to just be brooding, strong guy.
I think he could do it if he had the right director, but throwing him in that situation is not. He's not going to win there.
Also, Saturday Night Live's Adie Bryant has a new series on Hulu dropping Friday called Shrill.
Oh.
It's basically, I'm a large woman trying to make it in the world.
Well, she's delightful though.
yeah,
She's
she
great,
is.
so she'll make this work. And season 4 of Catastrophe on Amazon Prime.
I just started watching.
A lot
that.
of people love this
Now,
show.
what is Catastrophe again?
It's Rob Delaney.
Oh, yeah.
Who is in Britain on business and has a one-night stand with a woman, and she gets pregnant.
I watched part of the first season, and then I don't know why I just
And then
because
they-
there are too many shows I stopped.
And then
too many shows,
Then
yeah.
they decided to keep the baby and stay
Yeah,
together.
yeah.
So,
Yeah, this is the final season. It's ending after this one. We're dropping the whole thing on Friday.
All right.
Sunday, the show where actors act really hard against each other. Billions.
Yeah, I couldn't. I don't. It's,
Damian Lewis versus Paul Giamatti.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah, I couldn't do it. I tried to watch it.
But now they're working together.
Oh, they're working together.
Yeah, that's
now.
this season's
All
plot
right.
line.
You're not acting hard enough.
That's it. That's Paul Giamatti.
Yeah.
That's a line of dialogue right there. And Bill, you might like this.
Yeah.
On CNN, a 4-part docuseries, Tricky Dick.
Dick Cheney?
Ah.
No, Dick Nixon.
Dick Nixon.
Dick Nixon before he dicks you was
Yeah.
the same.
All about the rise and fall of Richard Nixon from the 70s.
Just a documentary, huh?
Yeah, 4-part documentary series, and I'm sure there's no lessons to be learned here.
Nothing.
No.
It's just history. We won't repeat it.
We
Don't worry.
sure loved to hate Nixon. What was the bumper sticker you saw, Gina?
I miss Nixon.
I miss Nixon.
A brand new bumper sticker.
It wasn't tanned, rested, and ready.
Tanned, rusted, and ready.
I remember that one.
Checkers.
And then there was another one I saw that says, "I don't care if he's dead. I still want to impeach Nixon."
This is a good Republican cloth coat that my wife Pat wears. Good Republican cloth coat.
Yes.
Question for Bill Frost: Is
Yep.
Hap and Leonard coming back?
Hap and Leonard, no, it's been canceled.
Canceled. Sorry.
Over on the Sundance Channel.
There you go, Cheryl. Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry. And I will repeat: you should be watching Deadly Class on the Sci-Fi Channel.
Yes.
A Deadly Tell
Deadly
us
Class.
what that is again.
Harry
It's-
Potter Assassin School.
Yeah, exactly. It's an assassin school for
Oh.
kids.
Good looking kids in the 80s.
Good looking.
It's got a
kid.
great
Good looking
soundtrack.
kids
Todd
are-
Newcomb would approve.
Well, I got him turned on to it.
Yeah.
And he's
Are they into Depeche Mode, these
oh yeah
assassin
Well,
kids?
they're into
The
all
Echo
the,
and the Bunnyman.
all the
and-
stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of punk you haven't heard in ages.
Yeah,
But a fun show.
definitely, yes.
All right. Thank you, Bill Frost. Okay.
Well,
Yes.
there's a little bit of traffic to tell you about. All of it kind of in the same area. We've got, stop that, UDOT. Northbound I-15, 102nd South, and then going the other direction, southbound I-15 and 114th South. So right in that area seems to be where the trouble spots are. Let me look at our message stream, see if anybody's sent anything there. Somebody says southbound I-15 Layton Parkway to Kaysville exit. Traffic is awful. Crash on the northbound off-ramp at Pleasant Grove Boulevard, causing backup onto the freeway. Those folks sent that in via text at 33986. Invest in you with visual freedom from glasses or contacts. Visit Wait Vision in Lehigh or waitvision.com. That's WAITE vision.com.
All right.
Here are your boner candidates for round 2. Number 1. Listen, ma'am, a CPAP machine would have been much easier. Number 2. So, what do the parents have to say after all of this? And number 3, Pelican attack.
Round 2 of your boners coming up. Stand by for that. Along with Big Boy News and Opinioendo, the Housing Gap Coalition.
Since 2010, Utah has added 4 new families for every 3 housing units.
Well, that's not enough.
Well, well, that's too many. That's too many.
Well,
Gina, that's not enough housing units, but it's too many families. Families are being forced to live further apart, and research conducted by the University of Utah has shown that since 2011, the housing gap has been above 50,000 units and continues to grow. So we, like firefighters and teachers and police officers and people like that, the people we want to have live here, they can't. They can't afford it. So they move further out and further out. So we need to find out how we can have affordable housing near employment opportunities and public transportation, which would reduce, drivers on the road, improve air quality and all of that. So you need to visit the UtahHousingGap.com website and join in the conversation about being a part of the solution to the housing gap. So visit UtahHousingGap.com and join the conversation.
The date for the Radio from Hell International Film Festival is March 20.
No, it
so
didn't.
No, it didn't.
No.
But it forced you to think about me yesterday, even when you didn't want to. I entered your consciousness.
You do anyway because you retweet and things so much, and I'm going to have to block your notifications because 90% of the time when my phone goes bing, that means somebody that I know has either retweeted or made a comment or something. It's 90%. I'm going to turn the notifications for you off because it's you 90% of the time.
Something I thought you would enjoy.
You said no, but here's what it is. You are an over retweeter. You retweet and retweet and retweet.
If I think somebody would enjoy something, I retweet it. You're welcome.
So yesterday, for example,
Like-
she 4 times.
Yeah, like the Utah Jazz winning
Yeah.
winning the playoff game. Like nobody would know that if you didn't retweet it. It's not necessary. So that's
You tweet the way you tweet, which is not enough, and I will tweet
you
the
know
way
what?
I tweet.
I tweet a lot. I just make sure that almost none of it's directed toward you.
You don't tweet a lot.
I do too.
Bill, for example, 2 times yesterday. 1 for himself and 1 retweet.
Yeah, I tweet plenty. Listen. I'll go through your tweets if you want. You want to see how many things you do.
On Thursday, he did 5 retweets.
Well,
Yeah.
here
I
she
tweet
is,
about
letting
twice as much
everybody
as you
know
do.
who won the Real Salt Lake game
Yes.
because that's the only way anybody could find out.
That's not the only reason to tweet something. Perhaps I am happy they won, and
You
I am
retweeted it.
tweeting my support.
You're retweeting it to everybody who already knows.
Not necessarily.
Of your boners, presenting now 3 news stories. These are examples of bad, stupid, or funny human behavior, and you'll decide with your votes of these 3 candidates which one is the worst, which one deserves to go forward to boner fight and possibly become boner of the day. If it wins here, it has to defeat the winner of round 1's voting. We did that an hour ago, but we'll throw both of those winners into the boner fight at 9:20 this morning. That's when you'll decide boner of the day. So pick your champion for round 2 right now. 2 candidates now, a third after the news. Once you've heard all 3, then you will vote. One of you lucky random boner voters will receive.
You'll see Bill around town. He's around.
Yeah, usually.
Don't you know who he is?
Yeah.
And if you see him, ask him for a hearty handshake. Don't just take it. You got to ask.
Yeah. Happy to oblige. Here's, excuse me. Here's boner candidate number 1. You know, a CPAP machine, ma'am, it would have been much easier. Cocoa Beach, Florida. 47-year-old Cocoa Beach woman arrested because she shot her boyfriend because he snored too loudly.
Well, that can be irritating.
Well, yes, but the shooting was reported Wednesday at the home on Emerald Lake Drive. The victim taken to the hospital where he's in stable condition. Brevard County Sheriff's Office said that Lori Morin was arrested. Preliminary investigation included statements from Morin and her boyfriend. Now they're both saying it was accidental.
Now, x96.com/live Crystal has I think a picture of Neil Young. Is that the incorrect?
No, that's the woman.
That's her?
That's her.
How old of a person is she? Does it say?
She looks like the boyfriend. She's 47.
She's 47?
Yeah.
That's
I talked to her a couple of times. She's always been really nice. This news is shocking, said a neighbor, Samantha Bobier, to hear that it was over him snoring, well, geez.
No, she
this
had no
is-
other choice.
This is stupid. It's bizarre. She just, I mean, really, he seems nice too, the neighbor said.
Yeah, till you go to sleep.
Well, a CPAP machine might have been an easier than boner candidate number 1. Here's boner candidate number 2. So, what do the parents have to say after all of this? And the story just doesn't indicate. Thanks to pediatric vaccination programs, Oregon hasn't had a case of childhood tetanus in 30 years. That changed recently when an unvaccinated 6-year-old boy spent weeks in the ICU and amassed an $800,000 medical bill after contracting an infection. Washington Post story reports that the boy was playing on a farm and cut his head. His parents chose to stitch the cut at home. 6 days later, he was airlifted to a hospital with telltale signs of tetanus.
Which is
clenched jaw,
Ugh.
arched back, muscle spasms. They call it lockjaw. 2 months that followed sound almost incomprehensibly traumatic and painful. His spasms worsened. Doctors had to intubate him in order for the child to breathe, ultimately inserting a tube connected to a ventilator into his windpipe. He was confined to a dark room with earplugs in order to reduce the spasms, which was probably absolutely terrifying to a first grader, on top the pain he must have been experiencing. All told, the boy spent 47 days in the ICU on neuromuscular blocking drugs to treat the spasms. He was also given a DTaP vaccine for protection against diphtheria, tetanus, and pertussis. The CDC puts the final bill for the ICU stay at $111,929, though that number doesn't include the cost of airlifting or the 2 weeks he spent at a pediatric rehabilitation facility. The Post report 5 rounds of DTaP vaccine at $30 apiece would have prevented the infection.
Let me guess.
However, when physicians recommended that the boy be brought up to date on his vaccines, along with receiving a follow-up round, the family declined.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was going to say. After all that.
Boner candidate number 2. So what do the parents really have to say after all of this?
Not much. All right.
Coming up in a moment, boner candidate number 3, Pelican attack.
Boner candidate number 3 for round 2. Coming up after this, Big Boy News and a Pinuendo, brought to you by.
Have you been to Moochie's lately? They're cooking up something new for you. Besides their famous authentic Philly cheesesteaks, try the new Philly cheesesteak egg rolls. Differently delicious. You guys are making yummy sounds.
Mm-hmm.
I know you've been asking, Gina. Carrie, you've been pestering me about it.
Like this.
So, yeah, poking at me.
Like that.
I can tell you for sure now. Elton John's autobiography will be out on October 15th.
It's about time.
We now have the official date. Now, I mean, everybody's been asking, so now we know. The first and only official autobiography of Elton John, and it'll detail every bit of what Elton calls his crazy life.
Oh,
I've grown up in a period of extraordinary change in the world, and have had the joyful honor of rubbing shoulders and other body parts and working with so many people at the heart of these changes. My life has been one hell of a roller coaster ride, and it's still lumbering on. I hope readers will enjoy the ride too. Now, okay, before you ask, let me just tell you, you can pre-order right now.
I can?
Yes. It's $33. Just go to eltonjohn.com.
You have it bookmarked, don't you?
No.
Is this a companion piece to the movie that's coming out, or is this trying
Now,
to
if you
get
want it,
in
if you-
on
you
the
can,
hype of
now,
the...
now you can go see Rocket Man if you want, the theatrical
Oh, I
movie.
thought that's what we were talking about.
No, this is
a
book.
This is the autobiography.
Oh, okay.
This is a
All right.
book.
Oh.
A book, Mr. Jackson. The
Oh,
book that you've been
yep.
pestering.
Book. I thought it was the movie.
This is if you can go see Rocket Man, the theatrical movie about my life.
Yeah, and I don't have to read.
That lands in theaters in May, but however the film, I would describe it as a musical fantasy.
Does that mean it's not true?
It's fact-based, but some of it's imagination. I didn't really float above the piano. Really? Float? Really? Now, I know you've been pestering me again about Katie Couric's book.
I don't think we've been.
Gina, every day you've asked me.
What is her book about?
Katie Couric, she's writing her autobiography.
Because I like her, but...
Okay, here's the official title. I know you've been wanting to know.
She's no Soledad O'Brien, I'll say that.
Well, please. Don't play the O'Brien card.
I love Soledad O'Brien.
Her autobiography will be called Unexpected. And she says, I'm having to write this book because, well, I can't seem to get a job on TV anymore.
And that was unexpected.
Yeah.
Well, surely Katie has plenty of money.
I hope.
No. She drank it all up.
No, she didn't. Don't say things like that.
No, she says she has time to write a book because she can't get a job on TV. She's tried. She's burned a lot of bridges, apparently.
Has she?
That's what somebody...
You shouldn't do that. How will you get back across again? You're stuck on the other side.
One source sniped that. A sniper sniped that.
A sniper?
Yeah. Couric will write about her experiences working with Matt Lauer, her rivalry with Diane Sawyer, and also she will reveal examples of the rampant sexism that she encountered as the first solo female evening news anchor at CBS, which I thought she did a perfectly fine job.
She was good.
But people just didn't cotton to it. There will be a rally. Let's see. They did. About 100 Tibetans marched to the Utah State Capitol on Sunday to mark the 60th anniversary of the Tibetan Uprising. On March 10th, 1959, the Dalai Lama fled Tibet in exile into northern India during the failed uprising by Tibetans fighting against Chinese occupation. More than 1.2 million Tibetans have died as a result of China's occupation of Tibet. Since the 1950s, according to the Utah Tibetan Association, Chinese government has also been aggressive in taking away Tibetans' freedoms of speech, religion, assembly, and press. Tibetans marched through downtown with signs and flags in a rally to commemorate the 60th anniversary of resistance to the illegal occupation by Chinese forces in Tibet. It's been a systematic eradication of their culture too. The Chinese have destroyed temples, and they force them to. They forbid them from speaking their language, and they're just pretty much trying to make sure that they're trying to erase any vestige of their culture. Donald Trump will ask Congress for $8.6 billion.
Nope.
In his budget to pay for the wall he promised to build on the southern border.
No, he promised Mexico would pay for it.
He promised the wall would get built, but he said that Mexico would pay for it, and now he's asking Congress to pay for it, the taxpayers to pay for it, and I don't think that they will do that. I don't think that the Senate will vote for it. The Congress won't vote for it, and the House of Representatives won't vote for it either.
So is this going to lead to another government shutdown again?
I kind of doubt it. Didn't work before. I don't think he'll do it again.
You know, the politicians say they'll never pay 100%. They're not going to write us a check, but they'll pay in one form or another.
The Maryland Court of Appeals, boy, a lot of people followed this case, has reinstated Adnan Syed's conviction.
Oh yeah, Serial.
On March 8th, meaning that he will not get the opportunity to try his case again.
Even though he had a crummy lawyer?
Yeah. Syed was the subject of the incredibly successful first season of the Serial podcast. On March 10th, HBO will release a new documentary about Syed and the 1999 death of Hae Min Lee. Lee was his former girlfriend, and in 2000, he was convicted of her murder. Serial raised questions about the legitimacy of the conviction, including a key witness who never testified and questionable cell phone tower data. In 2016, a Maryland judge annulled the original conviction and ordered a new trial. However, in a 4-3 decision, the Court of Appeals ruled that although Syed's first trial was deficit, it was not enough to overturn the conviction.
So bad, but not bad enough. You have to stay in prison.
That's what they're saying. Justin Brown, Syed's attorney, tweeted, "We will not give up in the wake of the ruling." Asia McLean Chapman, a witness who claims she saw Syed in a library during the time of the murder, did not testify at the first trial, leading attorneys to petition for a new trial that would allow for her testimony. But 2 former classmates filed statements with the court saying she had reason to make up a lie in order to help Syed. McLean Chapman tweeted there were no words in response to the appeals court decision.
That wasn't the only thing. His attorney made a bunch of mistakes.
Yeah, the cell tower, as I recall, that was pretty key testimony. That was pretty shaky as well.
All right.
And that's it for now.
All right. So, sports, weather, traffic.
Jazz, our home tonight. Oklahoma City in town. That's it for sports.
That's all?
Yeah.
Not much going on.
The Real won over the weekend out of their home opener. That was great.
1-0.
Weather, we've got mostly clear skies today, 47 for a high. Slight chance of some snow overnight. Better chance of that on Wednesday. And traffic, we do have some issues, and friends of the program were texting in. Southbound Highway 89 is backed up from the I-84 interchange all the way up the hill to South Skyline Drive for no damn good reason. I'm sure there's some reason, but let's see. The accident that has traffic so bad in Layton and Kaysville is 2 miles from the Legacy Parkway. A wrecker is loading up the last car as I drove past. Thank you for sharing that with us as well. Also got some issues on the south end of the valley going both northbound and southbound I-15 right around 102nd, 114th south in there. That's traffic.
All right. Thank you.
Here's boner candidate number 3, Pelican attack. A man is facing legal troubles after he posted a video to social media that appears to show him attacking a federally protected pelican in the Florida Keys. Hunter Hardesty of it doesn't matter where he is, posted the widely criticized video Thursday to his Facebook account, which was geotagged to Key West, Florida. The video begins with Mr. Hardesty appearing to lean over a harbor's edge, holding out something in his hand. The pelican floats closer, and then Mr. Hardesty, and I hate to say, appears to jump into the water on top of the pelican. No, he does jump into the water and on top of the pelican. He
tackles the pelican.
Yeah, he doesn't appear to jump into. He does jump in.
Why
do they put that? Why do they write like that? I hate it. Causing both of them to dunk beneath the water's surface. When the two reemerge, Mr. Hardesty, again they say, appears to grab. He grabs the bird with 2 hands, while others not pictured on camera can be heard laughing. A woman, not pictured, asks Hardesty to get out of the water or else she would call the authorities. The pelican then seizes on the opportunity and snaps its beak across the man's face, causing him to release the pelican. Hardesty did not return a request for comment. Many on social media lashed out at the stunt on his personal Facebook page, calling it cruel and saying they had reported him to Florida law enforcement. In the video comments, Hardesty wrote, "Next time, I'm going to eat him for dinner. I wonder what they taste like."
Oh, boy.
Boner candidate number 3, pelican attack.
All right, let's review the first 2 and vote.
Boner candidate number 1, a CPAP machine would have been much easier, ma'am. It's a Florida woman who shot her boyfriend because he was snoring too loudly. Just go get him a CPAP machine. Boner candidate number 2, so what do the parents have to say after all of this? An unvaccinated child infected with a tetanus spent an agonizing 6 weeks in the ICU that cost over $800,000. And what did they have to say after all of that? Not much. Just we're not getting our kid vaccinated anyway. And number 3, pelican attack.
All right, you've got to decide of these 3 candidates which one is the worst, which one deserves to go forward to boner fight and possibly become boner of the day. If it wins here, it has to defeat the winner of round 2. We did that an hour ago, but we'll take both the winners. and throw them into Boner Fight at 9:20. And that's when Boner of the Day actually happens. Right now, you got to pick your champion for round 2. All right, 1, 2, or 3. Remember your candidate number. The one that you think should win this round. Put that number in the message of a text. That's all we need is that single digit in the text. And then you send that to 33986. Easy. Or you can call 877-602-9696. Or go online to x96.com, look for the box that says Boner Voting March 11, 2019, and vote there. You've got less than 300 seconds to do it. Let's go. Round 2.
Will Carrie, Bill, and Gina run out of things to bitch?
The lightning round of Ask a Bullfighter.
You could still get in a phone question if you want, 801-359-9696 or 877-602-9696. But we have a lot of text questions. How about your health insurance, Ammon? They must be some. There must be some restrictions, or you have to have.
You must be risky.
You have to have special health insurance, or what?
I don't. It probably would be a good idea if you were going to do it.
You've had
Dang,
injuries.
that's a good idea.
Just thinking about this, are you? All right.
Hey,
wait a minute.
Why didn't I think of that? So what do you? I mean, has your health insurance covered you so far?
Yeah, on the cases where I've needed to go, a lot of the injuries are, you're just going to be sore. You can't really do much for it.
Cinch you up. We just cinch you up on the kitchen table. Yeah.
Until that big brain injury comes around, then you're going to wish you had it. Let's see. Text question. This is not me, of course. I want to ride a bull once before I die. How would I go about doing this?
Good. Well, that's
his bucket list, I guess.
Yeah, it's probably easier than a lot of people think.
Make it the last item on your bucket list.
And finally.
Actually, the Broken Heart Rodeo Company has practice where they buck out some of their younger animals just to see how well they'll perform. And I'm not sure if he's still doing it, but usually it's every Wednesday night in Ogden at the Golden Spike Arena.
Really? Just show up and.
Yeah, like there's kids from high school that come and get on, or guys from college that just haven't been riding for a while that want to get back in.
You have to pay a little fee to do it.
Yeah, I think it's like $20, and usually there's enough guys there that have the equipment that if somebody, I've been there before when people have shown up that have never been on an animal before.
I don't have my own rigging.
Yeah, they help them do it. So
listen to you.
That would be a good. And I know on the website, on the Golden Spike Arena website, there's a calendar, and it'll list on the days that they have practice.
All right. Let's see. How many bones have you broken? Pretty standard question.
Probably 5.
5. What was the most painful one? No, no pelvis, I hope.
No, my pelvis is functioning great.
That's good to hear.
It's good news for your fiance there too.
My worst injury is probably my ankle when I broke it and dislocated it.
Have you ever seen a rider or bullfighter lose their life?
I have not.
That has not happened. Okay.
Not where I've been. Thank goodness.
Let's see.
Do you have to be a big guy to be a bullfighter?
Yeah, I would think because you're over 6 feet. I would think you'd want to be a little guy, like a smaller target.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I'm big or not, but this is my size, and the guy I work with is the guy that I fight bulls with. He's about my same size, and I kind of think of it as there's more cushion for the pushing, or I can take more of a hit. And so
the
maybe
horns,
if I was a little smaller, maybe if I was smaller, I'd break more bones because I got some padding. I don't know, but
and let's see. Growing up in Franklin, Idaho, where there was nothing to do, have you ever gone cow tipping?
No, I actually we tried one time to see how close we could get, but they weren't really sleeping. So.
Well, you got to make sure.
Isn't that just a myth?
I kind of think it is.
You can't push a cow over when they're asleep.
Gina?
I'm going to look it up.
That's bull.
Look it up.
That's bull is what that is.
X96. Follow us on Twitter at Radio From Hell.
All right, 8:44. Time to award round 2 of your boners.
And that's brought to you by mashed potatoes.
I can mash potatoes.
Actually, you know what? Before we do that, we need to tell you about Hoops.
Okay, I could do that.
Yeah, that's right.
think.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Hoops Vision Correction, HOOPES Vision.com.
Yeah, they have the most experienced surgeons and the most successful technologies of any. I've noticed there are a lot of LASIK, laser eye places advertising right now.
Yeah.
And but I would tell you that don't trust your eyes to just anybody.
They are your eyes, after all.
Yeah. Hoops Vision, they are extremely well thought of around the country. At Hoops Vision, you can feel confident that, well, I mean, Carrie's the biggest coward when it comes to this. I mean,
I am.
I'm sorry, Carrie.
No, it's true. It's true. I was terrified to do this, and I sent my wife in first, bravely.
Push her through the door.
I shoved her in front of me.
She would tell you too that,
And she did. She went. She goes, no, there's no pain at all. It's like pressure. It's like a pushing on your eye, but that's it.
And so Hoops Vision really they are a world-class leader in vision correction. If you call them at 877-30 LASIK and then visit them, you will see what we mean there. You'll feel the confidence that we're trying to express here on the radio. Or go to their website, hoopsvision.com. Make that first free, no obligation appointment, and you will see what we mean. And then you can get rid of your glasses, your contact lenses, and then you'll thank us, okay?
All right.
Hoopsvision.com.
Now it's time to award round 2 of your boners.
Right. And and it's brought to you in part by or totally.
Completely by mashed potatoes.
By mashed potatoes. Boner candidate number 1. A CPAP machine would have been so much easier and saved everyone so much more pain and effort. Or then just shoot your boyfriend if he snores, I guess. But don't do that. Get the CPAP. Boner candidate number 2. And what do the parents have to say after all of this? Your child, unvaccinated, gets tetanus, has to spend agonizing weeks and weeks in an ICU. It cost over $800,000. And what do you say about that? Well, we're not getting him vaccinated anyway. And boner candidate number 3, Pelican attack. This asshat in Maryland. He's a Maryland man, but he was vacationing in Florida, and he decides to jump on a pelican. Didn't hurt it, apparently, and the pelican gave him a good smack.
Good.
What? These are bros. Bros doing things.
I guess. Yep. The winner, a lot of votes, and won handily. Number 2, the parents that did not vaccinate nor didn't prior to or post vaccinate their child.
All right, there's your winner of round 2. It might be boner of the day. It'll have to defeat the winner of round 1's voting. We'll have boner fight in about a half hour from now. 9:20 is when we'll do that, taking the winner of each round and pitting them against each other, and you decide who is boner of the day at that time. Is this sponsored, Gina?
Now, I don't know this for a fact, but I would be willing to bet that there is Captain Marvel merchandise available at Cabin Fever.
More than
I would bet. That's the kind of thing they do there. Lava lamps, playing cards, jigsaw puzzles, gift books, magic, and more located in Trolley Square. Cabin Fever, so much more than a card store.
All right, brand new episode of GeekShowPodcast.com posted last night. Name of the episode is Fruit Brute.
The cereal.
Where I found a blog post that somebody made of the 10 hottest cereal mascots ranked by hotness.
By hotness?
Like they're good looking?
You'll have to listen to find out.
Well, Bill, that would be you on that list, I would think.
King Vitamin
was not on the list.
What?
Again, discussed. It's all there.
Okay.
So go and take a look at that. I'm going to read this. Usually I just try to convey the news to you, but I'm gonna read these 2 paragraphs before I get to my main story because it kind of sets up. This is from Alex McLevy on IO9. It was as predictable as a lie from Loki. Before Captain Marvel even opened, Rotten Tomatoes was getting bombarded with negative reviews from sexist dip S's trying to tank the latest film from the Marvel Cinematic Universe because the movie had the temerity to explicitly be a woman's narrative, and star Brie Larson had the audacity to suggest it might be cool to have a slightly more diverse group of journalists covering the film. Before you could say, what a blatant bad faith twisting of her words and actions into some weirdo claim of anti-white guy bias, the hordes of online chuds sprang into action. Thankfully, this time Rotten Tomatoes wasn't having any of it. The site changed its policy, purging the advance reviews of the movie and instituting a new rule preventing such ahead-of-time tactics in the future. Which brings us to the obvious outcome today. The first day of Captain Marvel's wide release, a new round of trolls bombing the film en masse. But again, Rotten Tomatoes is responding. And it's not the only one. YouTube has also begun taking action against some of the more noxious corners of its expensive universe of videos, also to combat the creepy and politically repellent campaigns against Brie Larson, the film, and more. Unfortunately, this problem is bigger than Captain Marvel, and it's not going anywhere anytime soon. That all happened before the movie opened. Yeah. These guys were...
What are they so afraid of? What happened? They're afraid of what happened.
I still don't know what they're afraid of.
They don't want it to make money, because it did.
Well, I was just going to say, they succeeded in making Rotten Tomatoes and YouTube change their policy, so they won that. But they did not win with their main objective. Captain Marvel shattered the glass ceiling in its box office debut with $455 million in worldwide ticket sales.
That's crazy money.
Including $153 million in North America. The tentpole's global launch reps the biggest ever for a female-fronted film, eclipsing Beauty and the Beast, $357 million, as well as the second largest for any superhero pick, behind Avengers Infinity War, $640.5 million. Overall, it's the sixth best worldwide bow of all time. And the international opening of $302 million is the fifth biggest ever, ahead of Star Wars The Force Awakens, $281 million. In North America, Marvel and Disney's first comic book adaptation featuring a woman in the lead role made history in surpassing the $103 million grossed by Wonder Woman on its first weekend, as well as landing the seventh biggest debut for the Marvel Cinematic Universe after the three Avengers movie, Black Panther, Captain America Civil War, and Iron Man 3, not adjusted for inflation.
So shut up, you.
Yeah, it's also the second largest domestic start for a superhero pick starring a new character. Black Panther was the first. So, yeah, this is a big win for many, many reasons that, of course, we all listed. The main one, I think, being you had some familiarity with Wonder Woman.
I don't know anything about Captain Marvel.
Nobody knew anything about Captain Marvel, except for those of us who read the comics, So there you go. It did extremely well.
I think it's because it had a cat in it.
Cat kind of steals the show.
Does it?
I won't lie. Did you go see it this weekend?
No, we got waylaid.
You got waylaid, huh?
This week.
All right. Well, let me give you some warm, soothing news, something that will make you,
thank you,
specifically,
I need this,
even more happy. Idris Elba.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Is in talks to replace Will Smith in the Suicide Squad sequel.
Oh.
Playing the character Deadshot. It's being put together by James Gunn and Warner Brothers. He wrote the script, and he's going to direct it.
Okay. So it'll probably be better than the first one?
Mm-hmm. Sources say that Elba met with James Gunn last week, and it went so swimmingly that talks began with the studio in earnest. Elba was the first and only choice for James Gunn and the studio when they found out they couldn't get Will Smith. It's not that Will Smith was fired. It was that he's just busy.
He had conflicts.
He's Will Smith. They're very excited about the Suicide Squad and its script. And Gunn is said to be using mostly DC characters who did not appear in the original. And it's not a sequel.
So there's no Jared Leto. There's
no, probably
Margot
not.
Robbie.
Says several are expected to return, which Deadshot being one of them, Harley Quinn being one of them, possibly Rick Flag, although that's up in the air. But it's also said that James Gunn is digging deep into the weird character universe of DC Comics, because that's what he does.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look at Guardians of the Galaxy.
It's a raccoon.
They're all C and D list characters, all right? So that's what he's doing with this one. And there's a rumor going around that King Shark will be one of them. Yes, he's half man and half shark.
Great.
If you'd like to see King Shark in action, he just fought Gorilla Grodd, a psychic gorilla, on The Flash this past episode.
That's not a real thing, is
That's
it?
a real thing.
Oh, boy.
The gorilla can project his voice into your head and control your mind.
I love that.
Okay. Okay.
The Flash is just fun.
Did you see the Captain Marvel 9 Inch Nails T-shirt?
It's a special T-shirt only available on the Nine Inch
Yeah,
Nails
that you
website, I
can get.
understand. Let's see. I'm giving you a heads up. This is way in the future, but it's something that your kids are going to love. Mouse Guard.
Okay.
It's an independent comic. It's kind of like Game of Thrones, but with mice.
Oh, okay.
All right? Imagine that.
All right.
It's a very popular indie comic. It has found its leads for the film. Andy Serkis and Tommy Brody Sangster have signed on to star in Mouse Guard. It's being directed by Wes Ball, based on the comics. Mouse Guard is set in a medieval world and tells of an order of mice who are the sworn protectors of their realm. Enemies range from predators such as foxes and eagles to other rodents. The series you can get these comic books still. They're very good. The art is fabulous. Circus is the villain of the piece. The guard's blacksmith known as Midnight, who turns against the Mouse Guard.
So it will be motion capture.
It'll be motion capture.
Mice.
Weta will direct it or produce it and all of that stuff. Make the magic is what they'll do. So keep an eye out in the future for Mouse Guard, something your kids are going to dig. All right, there you go.
Let's see what we have going on traffic-wise. Crash stop on I-15 Antelope Drive, Davis County. That was from a little while ago. Looks like things have pretty much cleared up. Even I-15 in the south end of the valley. Those two earlier accidents, I'm seeing green cameras through that area. So it looks like we're regular speeds and doing what we should be doing. That's traffic.
All right, thank you.
Get your phone out and text.
Oh, yes, New Dwello.
Text the word money to 62687. And this is where you can get you can qualify for a forgivable grant of over $18,000. Well, there's one for $18,000, one for $5,000, one for another one for $5,000. Well, total $28,124 in down payment money for a new home. So text the word money to 62687, and Lolly and her New Dwello friends will they'll send you this map. It's a interactive map of where there are new home communities. Builders are putting up new homes. This is money for down payment money for new construction only, and you can partner up and get loan credits on buyer paid closing costs. So text the word money to 62687. Check out the builder map of these communities. See what you need to do to qualify for a down payment assistance. Start planning for your future. New Dwello will help you out. This is information it's out there, but it's hard to put it all together.
Yeah,
Lolly's taking care of that for you.
Exactly. She's done all the hard work for you.
So text the word money to 62687.
Here at X96, we're not going to pretend that we're the smartest people in the room.
I was thinking today how much this moment of one of our interns, the organized intern, Sarah, and I was thinking, I wonder how much it would cost me to hire her
For what?
as my personal assistant.
Here we go.
What?
You need a personal assistant.
Sure, I'd love one. I would love one. I think a personal assistant would do a lot of good things for me.
Like what? Do you
Well,
have dry cleaning that needs picking up?
yes.
You have a hard time getting around to picking up your dry cleaning?
Sometimes, as a matter of fact, I do. I have any number of organizing things that need to be done all the time. I need. It would be very nice to have somebody to post a bunch of social media stuff for me. At my direction, but actually do the work of it. It would be very nice to have somebody I could call up and say, I don't have time to go to the grocery store. I'm forwarding you my list. Please send it. Please do it. See, she's not. You know what I mean. There's any number of things.
You want to go to the store for Bill?
And she would love to. She would love to do it. She's nodding right now. But A, I don't know as I could really afford her, and B, I like her, and so I'm not sure that I want her to be on the receiving end of me saying, "What do you mean you didn't?"
Yeah,
things like that.
You would end up yelling at her.
Well, we have to break here, but speaking as someone who has an assistant,
what do you need an assistant for?
Here we go. I feel bad having her do things.
That's what I'm saying.
And so I'm not utilizing her enough.
You pay her?
I do.
Then don't feel bad.
Yeah.
That unless she's the sort of person who goes, okay, I'll get right on that.
Mr. Jackson.
Yes, if it's that sort of thing, then I need a different assistant. So see, Sarah would go, that's right.
See,
right, Chief. As a matter of fact, I would insist. I'm paying you. Say right, Chief, after everything I say.
What I need is a personal assistant that I don't like.
Yeah,
that's what I need.
How do you find that?
That's the problem I think I would run into. I like Sarah
because my assistant Nicole, I like her. Yeah. I like Sarah. There's no way that I could put her to work as I need. It just. Anyway.
I could. I just wouldn't want to yell at her.
Yeah.
And you would.
Maybe.
Eventually.
Maybe.
All right, let's get this over
Chief.
with.
That's what Sarah, would you mind when you're here just saying right, Chief, when I ask you to do stuff? Just for fun?
but I did it.
You did?
Good, yeah. You know, I did too, and
Well, on this day, good Charlotte, the twins.
The twins. They're 40. Benji and Joel.
The twins are 40.
Are they still married to what's her name?
Well, they're married to different people. They're married to Nicole Richie and Cameron Diaz.
All right.
So
yes,
I took that time to go to the powder room, and as I looked in the mirror, you know, I've been under a little bit of stress lately.
No.
A little bit of a, yeah, there's a little stress.
You got things going
I got stuff going on. Mm-hmm. And I looked in the mirror and realized that I've been wearing my shirt on inside out all day.
Oh, I didn't notice.
Yeah, it's. I went.
Is it still inside out?
Yeah, it's still inside out.
Oh, I can see on the shoulders now.
see?
Yeah. Huh.
It happens.
You get dressed in the dark?
No.
Okay.
Nope. Just put it on inside out.
Oh,
you
there
can't
you
see there must be a tag there somewhere.
Well, I wear my socks inside out.
Yeah, you said that in
But that's a purposeful.
the other day.
On purpose.
move.
And
yes.
you said wear your socks inside out. You'll thank me.
Change your life.
And I don't know why you said that. And so now I've just decided I don't care. So I put my socks on either right side or inside. I don't care. I just put them on.
Just wear them inside out. You'll thank me.
I think what he's referring to is you no longer will snag your toenails on little bits of thread.
Well, you got that seam.
Yeah.
The seam's on the outside.
Seam's on the outside now.
It doesn't wear on your
nice and comfy.
Yeah.
Huh.
The seam is the seam can cause you to
And nobody knows.
It's in your shoe.
It's in your shoe.
I'm wearing 2 different color socks right now.
Yeah.
Nobody sees them. They're not matched.
Yeah, but now I know.
So they're the same. They're the same sock. One just has a purple trim, and the other one has a yellow trim. They're the same from the same.
I avoid this
batch,
by buying like 10 pair of the same
Yeah.
black socks.
Yeah,
That's all I have. They're all
normally,
the same.
I try to do that too, but every once in a while you get suckered into. But
Oh, we forgot to do this.
What?
And we need to do this.
Who's we?
Quickly.
Who's we?
It's me. It's my fault.
okay, when you make these mistakes, you always say we.
We are in this together, Bill.
Okay.
Tide rises all ships.
All right. Okay, fine. I'll accept that.
2019 FanX returns to the Salt Palace Convention Center April 19th through the 20th, featuring the best in geek and pop culture, including movies, television shows, gaming, sci-fi, fantasy, and more. You can purchase your tickets at fanxsaltlake.com. Listen at 8 a.m., which is when I should have read this, 2 p.m. and 5 p.m. every day this week for a chance to win a pair of 3-day FanX passes from X96. You can get all the details at x96.com. Or, right now, you can text the word FAN, F-A-N, FAN, to 33986 for your chance to win.
We don't have time here, but I saw this today, and I was going to bring this up, and it might be helpful. 16 psychological tricks.
Okay.
Well, we have time later. We can do
to
that.
immediately make people like you.
Let's do that after we.
I don't know if we'll have
do
time.
boner
Will
fight.
we have time later?
Yeah.
These. It's a list, and people do like lists. So it's 16 tricks to immediately make people like you.
Now, was that the list from this morning? Because I read that list, and it didn't seem like there were 16 there.
Well, I don't know why they would say 16 if there aren't.
I looked at the list and I went,
Let's see. Yeah, there's
16?
There are indeed
16. I was very tired when I looked at it.
They're numbered 1 through 16.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
maybe I stopped reading after 5. Maybe
I've found that I do every single one of these.
So everybody likes you then?
Everybody.
Universally well liked.
I am No, that's not true.
No?
I do all of them, but I don't seem to be.
no avail.
I don't seem to be universally liked. But we'll see where maybe I go wrong.
Well, we'll look at that after we.
They're psychological.
Now, see, that frightens me.
Yeah, it's kind of playing mind games. These are tricks that have come. Scientists have come up with these.
Scientists, my ass. Witches.
Yeah.
Mind witches.
Witches. Stay out of my head, mind witch. All right. We will take a break. We will be back with Boner Fight and a reasonable amount of news.
Okay.
Before that, got to tell you about the Advocates. UtahAdvocates.com is the website. You can go there 24 hours a day. Doesn't matter when.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a live chat feature. I've started using those on websites more.
I do too. Yeah.
They're very handy.
Because you don't want to talk to anybody.
Yeah, because you just have a quick question. You don't want to take the time to call you. You just quick question, and it's so easy to use. And this is, like I said, 24/7. You can talk to an attorney about your case for free.
About accident-related questions,
Mm-hmm.
and they will tell you. You can determine whether you have a case or not, either on that chat feature or by calling them 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. 801-355-5550. Now, don't worry about this. It's not going to cost you. You know, a lot of times you talk to an attorney on the phone. They bill you for the phone time. The advocates are personal injury attorneys, but they don't bill you anything unless they take your case and get you a settlement.
And they probably won't take your case unless they think that they can get you a settlement.
Yeah.
So you're not going to have to come up with any upfront money.
And they will almost always be able to determine, just by talking to you on the phone, whether they think they can handle it.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't think they can handle your case, oftentimes they'll refer you to another attorney.
Mm-hmm.
They're like that. Or maybe they'll just say, look, you're really barking up the wrong tree here. But give them a call. If you've been hurt in an accident and you don't know where else to turn, call the advocates. 801-355-5550 or UtahAdvocates.com.
The date for the Radio from Hell International Film Festival is set, and this time we're going legit.
All we about the circus.
What are they going to do? Maybe they all
Well, I heard the Feld Entertainment family say, we're closing down the circus. We're going to do 46 years in we have 400 employees, and we are going to do our best to find jobs for them. And then they went on to say, there is some difficulty finding jobs for people who have been living on a train most of their lives.
Their family.
Like a train. Yeah. A train travels around the country. They live on a train. They're circus performers. This is the life they know. There's going to be some difficulty job placement with it. So I don't know. I think maybe we should start some sort of program. If you can take in a circus performer,
refugee circus performer.
I don't want no circus people living next door to me.
You think about it. How handy it might be to have a circus performer of some sort living with you.
They could climb on your roof pretty easily.
Yeah.
I bet, to clean out your gutters. I bet they could do that.
I bet they'd be very handy around the house. The circus performers would be they know how to do all kinds of things. They would know how to go next door and scan your neighbors out of stuff. They would know how to. I mean, they're just if there are any. For instance, if you have neighborhood chickens, I'll bet they can steal chickens. Circus performers can do all kinds.
Performers can steal chickens.
I think they know how to steal chickens. I think they know the best houses to get free meals. I think they know all kinds of stuff.
Well, I'm glad you've been worried about this.
I'm worried about them.
And want to find a solution.
Where are they going to? But I did think about that. I mean, these people really have been. The Feld was one of the women, one of the daughters of the Feld family said, "We're going to try and job place, but some of these people have been living on the circus train most of their lives.
Maybe they can be engineers,
porters, waiters. I don't know." Conductors, brakemen. It's just weird.
Not near me. Don't trust them.
Nope.
All right, 9:18. Remember that info. You're going to need it to vote for Boner of the Day. Got Boner of the Day coming up here in just a few moments. Let's see, about 7 minutes from now.
Okay.
So before that, a reasonable amount of news. Brought to you by
Lisa 2018 Honda Civic LX CVT from Stockton 12 Honda for just $5 a day. Honda Civics just $5 a day only at Stockton 12 Honda in the Southtown Auto Mall.
All right. News.
In the Oscar-nominated film Can You Ever Forgive Me, a dynamic Melissa McCarthy stars as a celebrity biographer turned literary forger, Lee Israel.
She was nominated for an Academy Award for that.
As IndieWire reported in October of 2018, Julianne Moore was originally on board for that role.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But the movie fell apart over creative differences with Moore, which ended with her departure from the film. On Thursday night's Watch What Happens Live, Moore said, "Well, I was fired from that film. I didn't leave the movie. I was fired." Director Nicole Holofcener fired me, she said.
You wouldn't think that Julianne Moore was the kind of person that ever got fired.
She said, "No, the director fired me. That's the truth. I think she just didn't like what I was doing with the character." When Andy Cohen asked if they'd already been shooting at that point, Julianne Moore said, "No, we'd just been rehearsing and doing pre-production and stuff. And I think that her idea of where the character was different than where my idea of where the character was. And so she fired me." She said, I haven't seen the movie yet because it's still kind of painful for me. I love Melissa McCarthy. I worship her. I think she's fantastic. And so I'm sure she's great in it. It's pretty bad, though.
That would be hard to watch somebody do something that you thought you were going to be a part of, and that would be hard.
She says, "The only other time I've been fired was when I was working at a yogurt stand when I was 15. So it felt pretty bad." Yeah, it is difficult. I remember once I was cast as in college. I was cast in a really important role in a play, and I turned it down. I said I'd been doing a lot of roles that year, and like big parts, and a friend of mine hadn't done very much, and I went to the director and I said, "Look, I've been doing a lot of stuff, and he hasn't been doing much, and he's really good. Why don't you have him do it, and I'll take a smaller role. I've been doing too much. I'm tired." And then I felt terrible about it because I'd watch him do it every night.
I could do that better.
And it was a really good part. Yeah, and I just felt. Yeah, I just watched him do it every night and thought, "God, I wish I'd done this."
I bet Julianne Moore knows how I feel.
And that young man grew up to be Jonathan Frakes.
Yes, no.
And now you know the rest. No, you'd sit there and you'd go, "I wouldn't have done that."
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but it was okay. But I think he's a city councilman in Milwaukee now or something.
Well.
Police are working to piece together the details surrounding the shooting death of an intruder in Murray Sunday night. Police say a male intruder entered the home for unknown reasons. The male homeowner opened fire. And police say initial information indicates it was an act of self-defense. The intruder is dead. Kenny Bass with the Murray Police Department said they don't know why the guy broke in. As of this writing, the details are, sketchy. There isn't information indicating if there was an altercation, whether it was over drugs or money or.
They just don't know yet.
Yeah, nothing much, other than one guy is dead for trying to break in. A man who was snorkeling got swept by a wave got swept into a whale's mouth.
Ugh.
South African dive tour operator Rainier Schrimpf recalled being nearly swallowed by a whale after he was mistakenly swept into its jaws. Now, wait a minute. Mistakenly? As if the waves of the ocean could mistakenly swept in.
Meaning that the whale didn't purposefully.
Well, no.
Well, what kind of
biting.
whale was it, first of all? Let's start there.
Let's see.
Because depending on the kind of the whale, it may have just been feeding on,
It was
small.
Yeah, it was
You know.
it was feeding on the little krill and stuff.
Yeah.
The 51-year-old was snorkeling near Port Elizabeth Harbor when a series of photos captured him being sucked headfirst into a bride's whale's mouth. A bride's whale, Carrie. You know those kind.
You know what? It's okay because I've seen what happens. The whale will
Well, he could just live there in its belly and make fires.
Well, no, I was going to say he's going to shoot him out of his blowhole.
Blowhole.
That's
Is
the
that
way
what
you
happens?
get rid of.
You're fine.
Yeah.
You're in there maybe 10 minutes.
Bride's whales, according to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, can dive for 5 to 15 minutes and reach depths of 1,000 feet. So a photographer who witnessed the dramatic scene from a nearby boat immediately began snapping the pictures. Everything but Shrimp's legs vanished inside the whale. Fortunately, almost as soon as the unfortunate gulp began, Shrimp said, the whale released its jaw, allowing him to slip free to the surface. Feels like Jonah in the belly of the whale.
Thank you.
Shrimp and said witnesses around him described it as a lucky break stemming from a misunderstanding. Whales are not man-eaters.
No.
Yeah.
This was no attack. It was no fault of the whale. They are gentle giants. It was just an accident.
Mm-hmm. You've read stories about whales protecting divers from sharks.
Yeah.
And the diver is like, "What? Why is this whale doing this?" And then he looks past and goes, "Oh, I see.
there's a
You're
shark
hiding
over
me
there."
from the shark."
Yeah.
Thanks, whale.
Whenever the big fella cracks a grin, and when the time and the place is right, we sit down, sip some bouillabaisse. Oh, little, I'm gonna have me a little fun. I got a candle, I can get a lot of reading.
Apparently, this whale looks like a humpback.
Yeah. There's a picture of it here. They're big.
Yeah. No, but they are. They're gentle. Whales won't.
We just have to go to the hook. We can't stop now.
Yeah.
We're
Oh,
too
we're going
close.
to the hook.
We're
Let's
too
get there.
close.
Yeah. Hell, we may even play the whole thing the way I feel today.
I don't see why not.
What do we all sing? Everybody.
Be like Jonah in the belly of a whale.
I get so lonely in the belly of the whale.
Dude, it swam.
Yeah. And one other animal versus man story.
Yes.
Paraglider Jonathan Bishop wrapped up a 2-hour cross-country journey with a textbook landing at the Namdigi National Park outside of Canberra in Australia last week. And in a scene right out of an Australian wildlife video, he was immediately greeted by kangaroos. I was concentrating on the landing, and I didn't notice the kangaroo until after I landed. As it ran toward me, I thought it was being friendly.
No.
Have you
And
seen
so
the
I
video?
said, "No. What's up, Skip?"
It's hilarious.
But the rowdy roo had menace on its mind,
He just comes jumping right up towards him, and
and then starts
They'll knock you out.
starts punching the hell out of
they're
him.
horrible animals.
Yeah, for the most part, they are. But they used to, and they did. They would take them around. There were in America. They would bring kangaroos over, and they would have boxing matches.
Yeah.
Against kangaroos. So there you go. He managed to get away though.
Yeah, look for the video of this. It's so funny because he comes gently gliding down. He lands perfectly and thinks everything is great.
Hi.
Just out of nowhere. It just
Wham wham! Boom! You're landing in my territory, mate. I'll show you.
try to find that video. It's just
I got it here.
You will watch it as I did at least 8 times.
Yeah, I've got it right here.
Like
now I'm
repeatedly. You'll start it over and over again.
I'm watching it right now.
Are you rooting for the kangaroo?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah. Rooting for the Roo.
With Radio from Hell on X96.
Well, I can't do it right now because I'm watching
No,
the
you gotta
kangaroo
wait.
come up to the guy.
Well, here, let me
and there he comes up and he starts slugging him. Yep.
let me give you a longer intro. Then you can.
It's Boner Fight. With Radio from Hell on X96.
Oh, well, the kangaroo just comes up and slugs him and then runs
And
away.
then runs away.
Yeah.
Attacks him and then.
A sucker punch?
Yeah, it gives him a sucker punch and
Tell
then
you,
runs.
They're the worst.
Well, and then it goes to another clip of tame kangaroos feeding at somebody's house. All right, so here we go. Boner Fight. Here's the winner from round 1 in the 7 o'clock hour, which was, well, he's never got in trouble for burning cars before. It's a local fire captain who had a church friend burn his car so that he could get out of living at his parents' house.
I'm still unclear how that would work.
I'm not sure either, but that's what he did. And it didn't work, though. The cops immediately knew that someone had burned the car on purpose. And, yeah. Oh. Well, but he said, well, why did you have this guy do it? And he said, well, he told me he'd burned cars many times before and never gotten caught.
It's always trouble. You meet a friend at church who says they can do something
Yeah,
for you.
that's right.
Never fails.
And then that's going against boner candidate number 2. So what do the parents have to say after all of this? An unvaccinated child, they bring him in. The child is infected with tetanus. Spent agonizing weeks in the ICU. It cost over $800,000 to get the child better. And then the doctor said, now can we please vaccinate this child so this kind of thing doesn't happen again? Nope. That's number 2.
All right, there you go. You've got to decide of these 2 candidates which one is the worst. Which one should be boner of the day? 1 or 2? You decide. Put the number of the candidate that you think should win in the message of a text. That's all we need is that single digit. Computer counts it that way. Text it to 33986. Or call 877-602-9696. Katie's taking votes in the producer's booth. Or go online, x96.com. Look for the box that says Boner Fight, March 11, 2019 at x96.com. If you don't see that box, refresh. It should appear. All right. We've only got 4 minutes to do it. This is Boner of the Day. Let's go.
Start your workday at 10 a.m.
I ate a 100-day-old steak.
Good for you.
100-day-old meat?
Good for you.
We
Didn't
went-
even give you any pause at all.
Well, no, because there was lots of wine before it happened. So we went to, and I never know how to say it. It's either Veneto or Veneto.
How do you spell it?
Veneto.
Veneto.
But I think
you're
but I think
you're
it might be
Italian. You should
Veneto.
No, it's
I don't-
Veneto. Veneto.
And Joe said it's the best meal he's ever eaten in Salt Lake, and he's eaten a lot of good meals.
Without
It's mostly lost on me because cheese, and I'm dumb. But the owner Marco came out and he said, "I want to give you this 100-day aged T-bone. You know, has the New York strip on one side and the fillet on the other, and it's so big the whole table can share it."
Wow.
And he brought it out to the table, like before he cooked it, just to show us.
Raw meat right here.
Yeah. And it looked like you just pulled it out of the meat counter. It was red, and when he's telling me it's 100 days old, and then he showed us a piece of what he cut off the top of it.
And?
Which was like 2 inches of
what?
Like green and white.
Or did he have that in his pocket?
No,
Did he pull it out of his pocket?
He was just holding it all together. Whatever the rind it creates on it after you leave it out.
Okay.
I wanted you. I'm telling you this so you guys
You
will be
looking
proud
for
of me.
a pat on the back?
Yes. And he's like, now I'm gonna go back and cook it,
Come
but
here,
I
come
just show.
There you go. All right.
So she.
I totally ate it.
She's looking for a pat on the back for eating a $50 steak. It was more than that. It was. She's looking for a pat on the back.
But 4 people
for
shared
eating-
it. 4 people shared
for
it.
eating a $100 steak.
And
It was. I've never tasted anything like it.
she was that good.
And it's not. It's not even like it was steak. It was like it was a whole other
A whole other level of
thing.
You're looking for a pat on the back for leading a privileged lifestyle.
we
Well,
were-
way to go!
We were 4 people that shared this one steak. It was. We all just had little bits of it, but.
You way to go, 1%er.
Say, okay, Google, play X96.
Do you remember the joy you first felt the moment you decided to stop living life to the fullest?
Best moment of my life.
Utah's original alternative, X96.
All right, it's time to award Boner of the Day.
Which is brought to you in part by some pork chops, some mashed potatoes, and some green vegetables.
Nice.
And they have over 1,000 used vehicles in inventory, 6 locations: Orem, Sandy, Murray, Ogden, 90th South, plus trucks and imports located in Sandy or at lhmusedcars.com.
So what you got was the winner from round 1. The guy who got a friend to burn his truck that he was making payments on, and that somehow was going to free him up to move out of his parents' house.
Yeah.
I'm not...
Insurance money, I guess?
I don't know. Not clear.
Because he wouldn't have the payment,
I guess.
so that he... Oh.
Because you make a claim, and they pay you what the car is worth, and then if you just don't get a new car, then you have money. I'm guessing.
Okay.
All right.
And that went up against number 2, the parents who would not vaccinate their child. The kid got tetanus, which was extremely painful and difficult to cure. It was expensive. And when they finally, their son turned out to be okay after a long stay in the hospital and very expensive. And then when the doctor said, no, let's vaccinate him, they said no. and that won.
Of course.
Handily.
It was no
Yeah.
contest, really. It was more of a ceremonial vote.
Yeah.
We
Yeah. So-
we could have just said this one's going to win and not taken votes, but y'all would have bitched. So
We
there
got
we
three,
go.
the other one got 3 votes. From probably
Who are
from
those 3 people?
Some anti-vaxxers, probably.
Probably.
You know, just to go back to anti-vax stuff, because we had that email last week. You haven't heard any follow-up from him, have you?
Yeah, the guy whose wife doesn't believe in vaccinating their kids, and he does, but
You did hear back from him?
yeah, he's
He's kind of stuck in the in the whole situation. There's nothing he can do.
He says, "Thanks for trying to help."
You know, I read an interesting article over the weekend about that.
All right.
Saying maybe we are going about it all wrong to try to convince anti-vaxxers to vaccinate. We approach it with facts.
Okay.
And science.
Yeah.
And we're frustrated, so we sound angry and we feel like this article was about, if you look at it from another way, these are people that feel like they love their children so much.
Yeah. I mean, that's their...
They can't, they are so worried about doing anything harmful to their children. Do you see what I'm saying? They're not neglectful parents.
No.
They're not parents that,
anything,
my
they're-
kid, whatever happens to him, I don't care. If anything, they are...
They're parenting too hard.
Yes. Which is an interesting perspective.
No, I think that's quite right.
I mean,
This guy would tell you, my wife is a wonderful mother.
right. These are a lot of these moms are people that homeschool.
Yes.
And I
Because-
would say they care so much about their kids. They want to make sure that they have complete control over what they're learning and the environment they're learning. They go way far over here. So you have to find a way to get them to see that
Did the article have a suggestion?
No, but it just sort of said maybe maybe we need to evolve the conversation a bit so we take into account these are parents that maybe feel even more deeply than just regular people about not wanting to harm their
Well,
kids.
and it could also be that they, like the people who voted for Orange 45, don't want to admit that they were wrong because it's embarrassing.
Sure.
And so they double down.
And what I'm saying is it's so important that we get these kids vaccinated. We need to, if we need to approach it from another direction to try to get that to happen, then we need to do it. Arguing about it isn't getting there.
I
Telling
think-
them they're stupid and telling them that they are horrible parents for not doing it isn't. That approach isn't working in every case, and we need to get all these kids vaccinated. So maybe we need to try a different approach.
The approach I'm going to start advocating is kidnapping. I think that's what we.
Oh, then there's nothing you can do. I mean, I don't know. There might be something to this. There's nothing that you could do now that the kidnappers took and vaccinated your kid and returned them to you.
Mm-hmm.
We were only gone an hour. Here you go.
Yeah.
Mommy. Well, what do you do? Well, I guess we'll just have to live with it.
Yeah, I struggle with this topic because I don't understand not wanting to do everything you can to protect your kids. But that's the part where I'm falling down on because these people think they're doing that.
Yeah.
They think they're protecting their kids, and you're not.
See, I love my kids more because
Right.
more than you love your kids
Right.
because it's just, I was thinking about it this weekend. The internet was not what we thought it would be. We thought it would be a good thing. We thought it would be, you're going to get information right away. We assumed it would be the correct information. We forgot about the fact that there would be people out there creating information.
But Carrie, there are people that think everything they read
On the internet, yeah.
because it's on the internet.
Exactly.
They think it's true.
Exactly. Well, there was an article, I want to say in Slate, Bob Seska wrote it, How to Spot Fake News.
Mm-hmm.
I want you all to forward this to your parents and your uncles.
Because the people that need to read that aren't going to read it.
That's the truth.
Well, I was just looking for the email. He, this guy who sent me the email initially, said, "Thanks for handling this so tastefully on the air and not disclosing too much of my story or my identity." He said, "I'm going to continue to have these conversations with my wife, and things may change in the future, but the anti-vax community is growing."
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Here,
Well, that's why we're having
it's
those
growing
outbreaks.
stronger.
Yeah.
And he said, "I think that," which that kind of surprises me. But he said, "I think that you all should continue talking about it because it is growing, and that's not good." So we'll keep at it. And now I just noticed I have another huge email about vaccinations from a guy who wants to remain anonymous, and about he and his wife having their first child and having discussions about whether to vaccinate or not. And it's an email from someone who's not stupid, but they're having conversations about whether they're doing it, should do it or not, and they've done some research, and they've decided to not vaccinate until. When I say what?
When you say we've done research.
It says here, I'm just skimming through it. It says, "We've done our homework together. It must be understood that first-time parents want nothing more than to be the best for their child and must not listen to fear-mongering and online or celebrities making waves or even friends and family. The biggest fear for us is that many doctors want to pump infant children full of many these things as possible, as early as possible."
Now, can I stop you there, please? When you say doctors want to pump your kids full, doctors want your kids to be healthy.
Yeah.
They don't want them to get sick.
Yeah.
They don't want to pump your kids full of. There's a reason, and there's research behind why they give them what they give them and when they give it to them. And these are people that have gone to school for many, many years, and they have to do continuing education, and they know more than if you spent a week doing nothing but searching things on the internet about this. You wouldn't even come close to what they know about it.
All right. We got to take a break. One thing we can all agree on is it's important to brush your teeth.
Yes.
Right? In the morning before you go to bed.
Yes.
Well, we're holding off on that with our child.
Well, and they have a line of kids Quip toothbrushes. And so you should take a look at that. Go to getquip.com/x96 and you can see the full line and all that. And also, again, for kids, this is great because it reminds them to switch sides when you're brushing because and most kids aren't going to brush for the full 2 minutes, but the vibrating pulse tells them, okay, there's 30 seconds, time to switch to the next side. And it'll do that for 2 minutes. And that way they don't have to think about it and they get their teeth brushed wonderfully. I love my Quip toothbrush. Also, the brush heads are automatically delivered on a dentist-recommended schedule every 3 months for only $5. A friendly reminder when it's time to refresh and stay committed to your oral health. And it comes with a battery for your toothbrush as well. Many reasons that I love Quip and why over 1 million happy, healthy mouths do as well. Quip starts at just $25. And if you go to getquip.com/x96 right now, you can get your first refill pack for free. That's your first refill pack for free at getquip.com/x96. Be sure to do that /x96 when you look it up so that you get the deal and that we get the credit. Thank you.
Here at X96, we're not going to
the good news is that I've learned that if you combine the mangosteen fruit with certain alcohols, it will cure cancer.
It
and
will?
I've got the margarita recipe here, the cancer-curing margarita recipe right here. 1 shot of tequila, 2 shots of Zango, and 3/4 shot of triple sec. All right,
It's a martini.
That'll cure your cancer.
that will cure cancer. I am cancer-free for 15 years.
And there's your proof.
So there you go. What more proof do you need?
So apparently they really put this in there in the company literature.
Oh, hell yeah.
You see that?
You can't do that.
No. What you do is you infer it.
Mm-hmm.
Say, oh,
You get your distributors to talk about it. You
don't put it in your literature.
Look, all I can say to Zango is, why aren't I your spokesman? I'm cancer-free for 15 years. I found that it's the mixing with alcohol that makes it work. Why don't they call
reaction
me? This is a $1 million company. This is my ticket to a big pay.
And they're local here. They should know who you are.
They should know who I am, right? I could give them a whole list of recipes, drink recipes, martinis, margaritas, daiquiris that will, cure cancer and depression.
You're awfully happy now that you do.
I'm happy and cancer-free.
Everybody knows that Zango won't cure cancer. It's Tahitian noni that cures cancer.
Can you mix that with alcohol?
Oh, no.
No, you don't want to do that, no.
You don't want to drink that, period.
Wonder what does this mean for them?
They have 15 days to respond. My guess is that either Orrin Hatch will swoop in like Super Hatch and save the day because he's big on that, supplement business stuff, or they'll just have to take that out of their literature.
Yeah, I think probably they have to say, sorry, we won't do it anymore.
They'll have to tell the people who sell it, don't say
Does
that.
really cure cancer. Or we don't have any evidence.
We don't have any evidence that it cures cancer. But Kerry Jackson, 15 years cancer-free because of the magic cancer-free margarita.
Because cancer's one disease. I love that when they say it cures cancer. 'Cause cancer's a whole bunch of different things.
Well, that's the beauty of it. It cures cancer.
That's how good.
kinds of
Apparently,
That's how good this stuff is.
All cancer's the same. You drink this.
Drank all our good liquor, you big moocher.
I like that. That's a new one I put.
You drank all our good liquor, you big moocher.
The bad liquor's still here, but the good.
I drink a bit.
And I'll change this drop from.
What do you say you and me go out and get plastered?
To.
What do you say you and me go out and get
cure cancer?
What are you guys doing? We're curing cancer.
I am curing cancer with this magic margarita recipe, okay?
Right this second.
Hey, right this second, I'm curing
cancer.
Right now, even as I stand here and look at you.
Cancer cells dying right and left.
Why would they get rid of the door greeters?
I don't know.
I mean,
money.
They got enough money.
No, there's never enough money, Carrie.
Are they paying them that much?
It's where I was planning on retiring to.
That was your plan?
Be a door greeter.
That's not a good plan,
Except
Bill.
I was gonna be a door greeter at Jiffy Lube. So maybe I can still do that. I want to be one of those sign twirlers.
No, you got to be outside in the weather.
Oh, I like that.
No, that's not a good.
I like that. I want to be outside in the weather and twirl a sign. I want to be one of those Liberty Tax guys. wear a
You got to wear the costume.
wear a Statue of Liberty costume and point to the
You
front
don't-
door.
You don't like wearing costumes.
Oh, I will now.
That's where you're at.
You bet. Yeah.
You can hide in a costume. You can be anonymous.
That's true.
That's the opposite of don't you know who I am.
Yes.
You
That's
want?
a, that's
did
a point.
Do you want me to do my list, or do we have time?
You got 3.5 minutes?
You can save it for tomorrow.
Okay, let's
4 minutes?
Well, we could probably do it. It's if you want to know the psychological tricks to immediately make people like you.
Okay.
Would you like to do that?
Sure.
All right. This is according to science.
Okay.
Not according to me. Are you going to play the little thing? Because people like lists. We know that.
Well, sorry.
Okay. Here, number 1, to make people like you. Gina, you should do this.
What?
To make people like you.
All right.
Number 1, copy the person you're with.
Copy the person you're with.
Kind of do. See,
Kind of do what? See,
I'm starting to really
hate you.
No, that's not what
Oh,
it
no?
means.
No, it means mirror some of the mimic.
Yeah, it doesn't
subtly mimic.
Doesn't mean repeat them.
Number 2, spend more time around the person that you're hoping to befriend. That seems obvious, doesn't it?
Sure.
Spend a little more time. Compliment them.
Bill, you look nice with your shirt inside out.
Again, that seems sort of obvious. Number 4, try to display positive emotions. Again, that seems
I'm happy to see you today, Bill.
That seems a little bit.
Is that why so many people like Amanda Dixon?
Probably. Again, that seems
because all of those things make me not like.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Now this one, be warm, but it says be warm and competent.
Competent?
Competent.
Okay.
Does it explain what it means?
Yes, it means is if you seem to be a person who is assured and is able to get things done.
Okay.
Dependable.
See, Chris agrees with me. I don't trust positive people. What are you smiling at?
How about this? Reveal your flaws from time to time. Not always, but from time to time.
Well,
I'm a person who makes mistakes occasionally.
And see, and I would also be very careful about what flaws you reveal about yourself.
Well, yeah, I have the tendency to wet my pants on occasion.
Yeah, you
don't tell people that.
People don't need to know.
No,
that.
I every once in a while
Ivy's writing these down, so
okay.
I think you should just send her a copy.
I
of
will.
it.
Number 7, emphasized shared values. Shared values, like, I too believe in getting drunk in the afternoon.
It's a shared value.
That's a shared value.
Is that a value?
Number 8. This one's controversial. This one is controversial. Casually touch them.
Yeah. No.
Now this is
That may be an older list.
No, I think that it's not one you bust out immediately.
Yeah.
But it casually touch people, and I used to do it more than I do now, but I still do it occasionally. But you have to be very selective. Number 9, smile. Simple.
Would it kill you, Gina?
Yeah. Would
You
it?
have to be such a bitch.
Yeah.
Never
Would it?
smile.
Wait, would it kill you to smile, Gina?
I like when people come up behind you and say that. Would
Yeah.
it kill you to smile? Number 10, see the other person how they want to be seen. You're so tall and handsome, Carrie.
Oh.
Number 11,
I never wanted to be tall.
tell them a secret. Number 12, show that you can keep a secret. I'm going to tell you a secret that so-and-so told me, but don't tell anybody else. Number 13, display a sense of humor. Number 14, let them talk about themselves. Number 15, be a little vulnerable. And number 16, act like you like them.
And number 17, hypnosis.
Is that a hypnotoad in your pocket, or are you really glad to see me?
You'll have to decide. All right, let's do the promo and get out of here.
Oh, wait.
Okay.
Hang on. There it is. Is this correct? Yes, it is correct. On Tuesday's Radio from Hell show.
At 7:45 a.m., Lieutenant Governor Spencer Cox will be here.
So make sure to call or text us with your questions.
Also, Todd will be here for Tuesday Tunes with Todd at 9 a.m.
So don't miss Tuesday's Radio from Hell show on X96.
I said, don't miss Tuesday's Radio. All right.
So don't miss.
You're going to hypnotize people into listening.
That's right. Are we good?
Yeah.
All right. Live long and prosper, bitches.
Don't you know who I am?
Cucumbers are nowhere near meat.
Corey is next.
X96. 1 hour nonstop music wing ding starts now.